I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
Is it cause I see things differently, picture things vividly, bring it all to life through the words of my ministry. In high-def imagery, I'll put it more simply, show myself approved since I read the book of Timothy. Then I got my study on, I had an epiphany. Israel is the chosen, some accuse us of bigotry, but I'm not ashamed, though they charge me of arrogance. The things that I say are far-fetched to Americans. Yahweh on high, I ask you in reverence, please give us the heathen as our inheritance. Psalms 2 and 8, cause their payback is overdue. Words of the psalmist now a hip-hop foldable. Lies that they told you, poison like a cobra bite. Keep God's laws and they'll raise us up overnight. Read the scriptures daily, stay away from lust and greed. You can move a mountain with the faith of a mustard seed. All things are possible, black people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. All things are possible, Hispanic people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. All things are possible, black people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. All things are possible, Hispanic people wake up. The world's about to change. It was Abraham that fathered us, the plan was so marvelous. They stole our identity so they could be a part of us. Now they don't acknowledge us, you know it's real drastic when they say God is white and the nation's been grafted in. But I sit back and laugh at them, we changing our nation. The truth can't be hid, this is the age of information. So run tell your president, Congress and senators. A real Benjamite, I ain't falling for that Kevin stuff. Fake Egyptology, no blood relation. The covenants are ours and not for no other nation. And we're in his creation, so I'ma do the Father's will. Babylon is done worship the eagle on the dollar bill. An owl that they tried to hide can't fool me easily. Smile in my face, but plotting on me secretly. Read your scriptures daily, stay away from lust and greed. You can move a mountain with the faith of a mustard seed. All things are possible, black people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. All things are possible, Hispanic people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. All things are possible, black people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. All things are possible, Hispanic people wake up. The world's about to change. They say the government is watching them, fringed up cardigan. I wanna be a part of them saints that go marching in. First we gotta figure out what really ails us. The world turned their back and the church system failed us. Fed us the swine, said we was under grace. Took our identity, gave it to another race. Message to Esau, time's up, you're not a Jew. My people waking up, cause all things are possible. All things are possible, black people wake up. All things are possible, Hispanic people wake up. The world belongs to us, it's a new day for Jacob. All things are possible, black people wake up. All things are possible, Hispanic people wake up. The world's about to change, God created it for Jacob. Is this what it's come to? Is this what y'all want? I guess so. I'ma give you what you want. Woke up, chose violence on the wicked man. Mapped it out, changed my mind, I have a different plan. Who's telling the truth if it isn't Dan? Gucci Mane before jail, cause I'm a different man. Had a couple of folks that went left on me. Spit on my name and then they stepped on me. Prayed to Yahweh, he blew the breath on me. Better late than never, that's what the chef told me. Seen a few things that I cannot forget. Papoose dropped Remy to get a boxer chick. It can't be all love if it's not respect. Don't gamble with me if I cannot collect. Bet on yourself, go ahead and roll the dice. I don't care for designers, I think they're overpriced. The skinny jeans look is finally dying out. And where they heard I'm coming, I heard them crying out. Get stressed a lot, cause I get blessed a lot. Took a couple grand and invested in Tesla stock. Poke out my chest a lot, I'm not impressed a lot. On the Sabbath day, I'll probably get rest a lot. They say priest is soft, don't believe your mans. I got an AR-15 plus my feet and hands. Lead with the left, jab got him looking lazy. Mayweather beats, and that's cause the hook is crazy. Life is never easy, it's gonna be a hard fight. Keep a poker face, I gotta play my cards right. Same routine, sleep, pray, and make money. Wrote so many bars, Kevin Hart, it ain't funny. Oh Lord, I know the wolves are preying on me. Put my hands together and do a pray emoji. Till our ignorance is finally dying out. And when they heard I'm coming, I heard them crying out.
Hayahawa, Hafapalau, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever.
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Hanyawa Al Yak, Hanyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Hanyawa Al Yak, Hanyawa Al Yak, Waya Sham, Waya Sham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
What we reppin', LOY, what we reppin', LOY, what we, let's go! Reppin' for LOY, and I'm giving, what you giving? Yeah. Praise to the Most High, and I'm Israel for life, until the day I die. I got the haters saying, who let the lions what? Who let the lions what? Who let the lions out?
Shalom, shalom, shalom. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Saturday morning Lions of Israel class. It is your brother, Priest Y'all represent Lions of Israel, Maccabees TV. And I'm joined, as always, by the Elder Zahab. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ, I want to say peace and blessings to everybody listening. And I do pray that everybody that's listening is in good health and good spirits on a Saturday morning. I'm trying to stay in as good spirits as I can. I live in the Northeast, It's the middle of May and it's cold outside, which is crazy. So that kind of keeps your spirit from being all the way up the way you want it to be up. You wait for spring all winter only for it to be May and I'm still cold. I still have the heater on right now. Nevertheless, that's my problem, not yours. We do appreciate you, brothers and sisters, being here every week. I want to shout out everybody that's watching us on our YouTube platforms, Lines of Israel Congregation, Lines of Israel Class, as well as Maccabees TV. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Make sure that you guys hit the notification bell so you guys can be informed every time we go live. And shout out to everybody that's over on the Clubhouse app. The link to today's class is at the top of the room, okay? I will tell you guys that I'm playing a lot of videos today. Today's class is very heavy on playing videos. So if you're able to make your way over to YouTube, I think you'd get more out of the class than you would by listening only. But if you are only able to listen, that's fine as well. I pray that the class is edifying to you, all right? So before I get started, as always, I'm going to open the floor for Elder Zahab to say a couple of words, and then we'll get started.
Hey, shalom, priest. Shalom to the family. All praise to the Most High, man. Beautiful Shabbat. Yeah, it's a little nippy here in New York, but, you know, it's all good, you know. All praise to the Most High, man. I know the topic which you have prepared, you know, that's a beautiful thing. We need to get into that. Also, I just want to tell the people listening, man, just stay on point, right? Stay abreast with what's going on. If you're the type of person you don't like to watch the news and stay on current events, that's not good, right? You need to stay up to times and stay with what's going. You don't have to watch every single, you know, thing that comes with the news, because, you know, you got something called misinformation, you got disinformation, and so on and so forth. But brothers and sisters, stay in your scriptures and stay on top of what's going on as far as geopolitics, certain local events and certain things, because we need to know what's happening before it's going to happen, right? That way we can prepare. With that being said, go ahead, priest.
So for those of you that will be staying around for the entirety of the class, I did intend on touching a little bit on current events that's happening that maybe we're not, you know, maybe some people are not aware that's happening because we're being given stupidity on social media to argue about and divide ourselves over things that really have no relevance to most of us, right? But there's a lot of things going on in the world, both nationally within the U.S. and globally, as Elder Zahab said, geopolitically as well. So I kind of wanted to touch on some of those things briefly at the end of the class when I'm making announcements, okay? So you guys hang around for that. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started with today's class. I don't think I have to remove the banner today because the way I put the PowerPoint together, there's not really anything that would cover what I'm showing, but I will remove our logo for now. I'll do that. Oops. Oh, okay, let me get rid of that.
Use the see-through one if you want, the PNG one.
I'm not going to use that because, yeah, I don't want to impede the top, so we don't need it for now. With that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen and we can get started. Again, you guys on Clubhouse, if you're just coming into the room, today's video is heavily playing videos. Today's class, I should say, is a lot of videos, so you guys might want to transition over to YouTube if you are able. All right. Make sure everything's showing up. Okay. So today's class is going to be part of a two-part series that I have. Part one is dealing with the men, and part two is going to be dealing with the woman. There is a great gender divide. We can thank the CIA for that. And first wave feminism that came in via the CIA, via Gloria Steinem. And it's transformed its way into what's called fourth wave feminism, which is basically a hatred amongst the genders of each other. I'm just gonna get right to the point. It's a hatred of the genders of each other. It's a willful misunderstanding of the genders of each other. And because there's no effort put into understanding each other, all there is there's hatred. And that's what's being spewed online. And that's one of the many things that's distracting us as a people, where we're no longer paying attention to national news, things that affect us as a people. We are no longer thinking geopolitically things around the world that can affect us as well. We're too busy fighting each other on many fronts. Male against female, old against young, right? You have colorism in our community, light skin against dark skin. It's just madness, right? The Bible tells us in Zephaniah 2:1, especially relevant concerning the times that we're in right now. The Bible teaches us that we should gather ourselves together, right? That's what the Bible teaches us we should do. But pursuant to the book of Ezekiel chapter 37, right? Ezekiel, when the Most High asked Ezekiel, can these bones live? The bones being the house of Israel, he said, only thou knows. And he told the Most High, only you know, because from my perspective, looking at Israel, these bones could never live again. And I feel that way when I go on social media and I look at what our people are talking about and what our people are arguing about. All of it is a distraction. Even some of the doctrinal arguments that go on as well. Like everybody has to be right. That's also a distraction. About the same 3 or 4 doctrines for the last 10 years. That's a distraction. And so, yes, I want to talk about geopolitical things, but every now and then we got to come back to the 101s, the basic, the milk, and talk about things that unify us, that bring us together, because unity is strength. When you look at your hand and the fingers come together and ball up into a fist, that makes your hand more potent. A fist is more potent than an open-handed slap when you have all your fingers individually divided. A fist is more potent. So lessons like this, and the lesson I'm going to teach on the women's side, is about making this open hand into a fist, us coming together. And it starts with us understanding each other. So today's lesson is called When a Man Loves, This is What It Looks Like. Let's start off with the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6, and we're going to start from verse number 1. It says, now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 2, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and all his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, and all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Now, verse number 2, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a second, because it only mentions the sons. Do you guys notice that? It doesn't mention the daughters. So does that mean that we don't teach the daughters? Is that what that means? Are the women left out? Let's keep reading. Verse number 3. It says, hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of something esoteric, which means something hidden, right? We're reading Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. 6 plus 4 equals 10, and 10 is really 1. So when the translators were putting the Bible together, they did stuff like this. Verse 4 is purposely put in verse 4 with the Lord being 1, because it's Deuteronomy 6 and 4. 6 and 4 is 10, and 10 is 1. Just a little tidbit, but let's keep going. Verse number 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. This is where it's all inclusive of the sons and the daughters. And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine home, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Now, I wanted to teach you guys something, because I was having a conversation with someone this week, and this is someone that's straddling the fence that I work with. They believe in the Bible, but they have their gripes with the Bible, right? They believe the Bible is, as everybody likes to use the word, which I think is an overused word, they believe the Bible is misogynistic, it's anti-woman, right? And they were giving me examples of what they perceive to be why the Bible is anti-woman. And they point to the case of, like I just read you in Deuteronomy 6, verse number 2, right? That it only mentions the sons, right? And also, they believe that, like in books like Proverbs, it's always talking about the man or he that, right? In the case of Christ, he speaks about he that believeth on me. As the scripture said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So her argument was it's always just talking about the man, the woman are never included. So I had to explain to her that the Bible operates on is a literary device, right? The Bible utilizes literary devices. You must be aware of them. If you're not aware that the Bible uses literary devices, that might be a stumbling block from you to deal with it, because you might think like her. So I explained to her that because you only speak English, that's the reason why you think like that. So as you guys can see, I did a Google search just so I took the first thing I saw just so I could teach this to those that don't know. There's a literary device called generic masculine. A generic masculine. The Bible operates, especially in the books of poetry like Sirach, like Proverbs, like Ecclesiastes, etc. The Bible, but really even passages like I said, like when Christ said, "He that believeth on me," as the scripture have said, so forth and so on. Psalms chapter 1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners. These are generic masculines. What is that? The Bible frequently uses generic masculine, meaning masculine nouns and pronouns that refer to humanity in general. That's the way the English language worked in the 16 and 1700s. That's why it was translated that way. It was understood by them that even though you see he, it's talking about him and her, both. Does everybody understand that? Reflecting ancient Hebrew and Greek linguistic norms where masculine was the default gender, where terms like sons or men were historically understood to include women. It was historically understood to include women. That's the literary device that the Bible uses. So it's talking about men and women. The women are not excluded. This is just the way the language works, right? You have some other languages, like, for instance, Spanish, right? And Italian. Those languages are feminine. They're mainly feminine. English is more masculine. Get it? That's just the way languages work. So when you speak more than one language, you know these things. If you don't speak more than one language, you don't know these things. And then you create a stumbling block in your mind from dealing with the Bible because you think you're left out because it says man and it's talking about mankind. Everybody got it? I want that to be clear.
Hey, Salaki, if I could, please. Even in the beginning, when you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, right, it tells you that. It says, so the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he, him, male and female.
Right.
So when it says man, it's talking about man and woman, but like the priest said, what's the term? General masculine?
Generic masculine.
Generic masculine, right. So, you know, people shouldn't get put off when you read in the Bible and talks about man. When you see the word man, it's really talking about man and woman. But for, you know, certain context, it just says man, but man is implied that it's man and woman. Even in certain cultures, like Benjamin, right? In Jamaican culture, sometimes they will call a woman him, like watch him or see him or do this, but it's really a woman. But it's like we understand that, you know what I mean, based on cultural you know, norms and upbringings and whatnot. But it shouldn't be, you know, our people, you know, I understand they might take it the wrong way and be like, oh, you're only talking about the man. No. When it says man, it's really talking about man and woman. So you could go harken back to Genesis 1:27 and it breaks that down. Slaki.
Okay. And also, I believe, and I'm winging it, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, y'all can put it in the chat. I believe Genesis chapter 5, where it says God created man and woman and called them Adam. So from the very beginning of the Bible, it's telling you that when it speaks about man, him, whatever he, it's not just talking about man. Women are included. You are included. All right. Just wanted to say that because that was something I was talking to somebody earlier. And she accepted it when I said it. Now, will she start believing in the Bible? I don't know, but she understood it. And she said this is something she has to look further into. There's also another term called androcentrism. Androcentrism. Now, I know I'm giving y'all early Saturday morning. Y'all just wiping the coal out of your eyes. And I'm already giving you guys vocabulary, but this is useful. One day you're going to need this. Androcentrism is the practice conscious or otherwise, of placing a masculine point of view at the center of one's worldview, culture, and history, thereby culturally marginalizing women. The related adjective is androcentric. The opposite of androcentric is gynocentric. So we don't deal with this, right? We don't deal with this at all. What we do is the language is generic masculines, and it includes male and female, okay? But that's enough of that. Let's move on. And I did all that so we can, when we get into the scripture and we read about he and man, nobody's confused that it's talking about men and women. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7. It says, the just man walketh in his integrity, and his children are blessed after him. So in order for you as a man or a woman, but today we're dealing with the men, so I'm going to take the word man literal in this verse. Even though it's talking about men and women, I'm going to apply it to the man in this case because we're talking about the men today. As a man, you are a living example. I don't give a daggone how many Bible verses you know, how well you can teach. People don't judge you based on that. You're not measured based on that. People measure you based on how you live your life, how you carry yourself, the way that you speak, what you do, and people mimic that. Whether it be your physical children, whether it be other children within your vicinity, whether it be younger men that are younger than you, if you're a little bit older, so forth and so on. The just man walketh in his integrity. So as a man, you must display integrity. His children are blessed after him because they will also have integrity based on the example that he sets, number one, with his actions, and also the demands that he places upon those that are around him, that they must also walk in integrity as well. Then those children will be blessed. And this is one of the ways that a man loves. A man demands integrity from those around him. And if you do not have integrity, a man will not have you, and a man with integrity will not have you around, even if it's his own children. Here's an example of men not having integrity. The caption of the video says, this is how YNs are created. And it's true. As a man, the parents entrust you with their children for you to teach them to play football. Now I'll put a caption here. Coaching should be on and off the field. Coaching is not just the X's and O's on the football field or the basketball court or the baseball field. No. I would venture to say more coaching is required off the field. Now remember the scripture we just read. A man with integrity, his children after him will be blessed. But if you are a man with no integrity, right, then the children that come after you, whether they be your physical children, or in this case, the children that were entrusted to you to teach, they're going to be just like you. If you a gremlin, if you a Negro, they're going to be the same way. So this is how YNs are created. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch this video and we're going to see what we see. I'm going to turn the volume all the way up. Now, the idea is I would say these kids are about maybe 10 to 12 years old. And I want you guys to listen to the lyrics of the song that these dudes is playing for these children. Let's go. Let's go, nigga. That's what the F we no. That's how you start off wrong. Let's go back just a little bit. Let's keep going. The kids didn't pick the song. Hey, B word, what up? How many of y'all think those boys are going to grow up to respect women? What is their outlook on women going to be when they get older? If the older men pick the song, because the kids didn't pick the song, And the older men are sitting there singing the song with them and encouraging them to sing. He said, I want to hear everybody. I want to hear everybody say, A, B, what's up? These are the young men that, those y'all that have daughters, these are the young men that they're going to have to pick from. Y'all missed that? They said shoot him up. Y'all caught that, right?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You see, it's different when you see like YNs.
And see, we can't. Here's what we do. We know Esau is the devil, right? We love that. We love to say Esau is the devil. And we did many videos about how Esau is using rap music to destroy our people, so forth. We know all that. But guess what? There is a level of accountability on our end too. We don't have to consume that. And we sure as heck should not be allowing our children to consume that. So as men, that was a failure. You can't blame Esau for that. That was a failure of leadership on the part of those men.
Doing some crazy stuff like this. Like, you know, because they're young, you know, their brain's not fully developed yet, so they're just dumb. You're young and dumb, okay? We've all been young and dumb before. So it makes sense. Their brain's not fully developed yet. But when you see the adults, you know, sharing this kind of nonsense on, I mean, they actually think, the adults over there, they actually think this nonsense is cute.
That's the problem. It's
not cute. This is why a lot of people have come to the conclusion that the Black community is screwed. It's screwed. Only a divine intervention can change things.
That's a fact. That's a fact, and that's what we push. That's what it's going to take. Even Ezekiel said that. He couldn't see it.
Divine intervention. That's the only thing that can save the Black community. It's not policy. It's not more money that's going to help fix the Black community. Talking about reparations and all that stuff. That's not going to fix anything. It's not going to fix anything. We've already seen what they do when they get money. I reacted to a story on my channel about this dude who won like a $30,000 lottery. He won $30,000. What the person did do? Go buy a $20,000 chain. Are you freaking kidding me? That is just crazy. That's just crazy. And long story short, he got robbed. He got the chain snatched from him. And what's crazy is that it was a bunch of white dudes that stole the chain from him. I'm just kidding. It was Nick.
So now we understand better what the first verse was about. If a man walks in his integrity, the children will mimic that. And men that don't walk in integrity raise YNs. That's what they do. All right. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 30. Let's start from verse number 1. It says, he that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod. And we're going to talk about that, but not yet. That he may have joy of him in the end. So you cause him to feel the rod so that in the end, the child doesn't do something crazy and grows up to be a productive member of society and has integrity and morals, and you can be proud of him. But in order for that to happen, as a young person, you got to bend that tree. As the Caribbean people say, you bend the tree when it's young. Verse 2. He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. That's what the other nations don't want. They don't want us to teach our sons. They don't want us to teach our sons. They want our sons to be YNs. That's big business for them on many, many levels. And before his friends, he shall rejoice of him. Verse 4, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like unto himself. And I always, when I read the scripture, think about David and Solomon. And when David was on his deathbed, how he charged Solomon to get revenge on all his enemies and taught him how to rule. That's what he did. So it was as though David was still alive even after he was gone, because he raised up Solomon in a righteous way. And Solomon was a righteous king until he got that his lust got the better of him. We already know how that ended. Verse 5. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. Verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and that's what Solomon did for David, and one that requited kindness to his friends. And you also can see that when Solomon was building the temple, you had what's the guy's name, man? You had the other nations. I forgot. I don't know why it's slipping my mind right now, but you have the other nations that were coming and offering to manpower, right, to help build the temple, our temple. They were offering materials to help build our temple and all that, right? So that's literally lived out between David and Solomon, right? Now I want to watch this video real quick, and I'm no fan of Steve Harvey, but a broken clock is right twice a day. And he said something very powerful that a lot of people don't think about, especially men, because I'm talking to the men today. The sisters are just kind of observing, but I'm talking to the men. He said something that's very powerful concerning your father. Your father is the only person, if you had a reasonably good father, your father is the only man on earth that ever felt this about you. Listen, let me turn the volume all the way up.
Your father is the only man that has ever wanted you to be better than him. There ain't another man nigga want you to be better than him. Bruh, I've never heard that. There's no one. Your father is the only man who wanted you to be better than him. I love you, man, but I don't want you to be better than me. Your father wants you to be better than him. And when he dies, you realize it. And what the part that fucked me so bad was, I don't feel like crying today. I didn't have nobody. When my daddy died, I didn't have nobody to say they was proud of me.
Now, I want to say this, right? That's very powerful what he said. And I'm talking to the sisters just for a second, and I need for y'all to understand. It doesn't mean that he didn't have a mother. And it doesn't mean he didn't have a good mother. And it doesn't mean his mother didn't do everything that she could possibly do within her power for him. But I want you sisters to understand, you have a role, a great purpose that the man can't replace. But the world doesn't tell a lot of our women, I'm not talking about the sisters in the truth, the world doesn't tell a lot of women that the father's role in children's life is irreplaceable. It's irreplaceable. I'm sure his mother told him she was proud of him 100 times, maybe 1,000 times. But he still felt a way that his father wasn't there to tell him the same. This resonated with me, and I'm going to tell y'all something personal. This resonated with me because that's my story, right? My father died when I was 12 years old, right? My mother was there, and she did everything she could do, right? But I played sports. In my early teen years, I played baseball. In my early teen years, I was played Little League, and the next league up after I played baseball. And I remember when I was younger, my father would come into my games, and then he passed when I was 12. And I would go to the games, and all the rest of the guys, their father was there. My father wasn't there. And I felt that. My mother was there, but my father wasn't there, and I felt that. And as a man, you know, women are emotional. So you can never, even as a boy, you notice about your mother. You protect your mother. Man, his instincts as a protector. It's not just physical, like get into a fight protection. No. I had to protect her emotions. I knew that as a boy. Your sons know that about you as a boy. I could never show her that her presence alone wasn't enough. So I had to fake it. But inside, I was dying inside because everybody else's father was there. I didn't have a father there at my games. And I'm telling y'all, for those of y'all that have sons and daughters, you have children, your children feel the absence of their father, whether they tell you or not. If they don't tell you, it's because they're protecting you. That's it. They feel it. He's not lying. I lived that myself. If you have children and the father's not present for whatever reason, they feel it. I'm telling you. But they're not going to hurt your feelings to tell you that. Today's class is going to be a good one, y'all. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Let's go into the next video. This is also powerful words. Let's let the video play.
One of the toughest things about being a father is when you realize you're raising the ones you can't live without to live without you.
Wow.
You're teaching these guys to learn how to live without you, even though your favorite moment in life was when they're around you. There's nothing like it. It's magical for you to do that. So let me read this to you. A dad can lose friends. He can be misunderstood by his own family. He can carry the weight of criticism and still sleep just fine at night. You know why? Because his mission isn't to be liked by the crowd. His mission is to be respected, trusted, and loved by the only audience that matters, his children. One day, those kids will look back and realize why dad said no when everyone else said yes. Why he stood his ground when it would have been easier to bend. Why he took the long road, even when the short one looked tempting.
So what he's saying, and I'm going to go back a little bit because I don't want to break his wisdom. What he's saying is one of the way a man loves is by saying no. It don't sound like love. It don't feel like love to the person that's being told no. It don't feel like love to the person that's being disciplined. It don't feel that way. But that's love. It's preparing you for life that you don't even know about yet. You don't appreciate yet. You don't fully grasp yet. But he knows he's the protector. So he's protecting you from yourself. From you going out into the world and not being prepared for the world. So I'm going to have to tell you no sometimes. I'm going to have to discipline you sometimes. That is love. May not feel like it on the receiving end, but that's love.
To be respected, trusted, and loved by the only audience that matters, his children. One day, those kids will look back and realize why dad said no when everyone else said yes. Why he stood his ground when it would have been easier to bend. Why he took the long road, even when the short one looked tempting. A father doesn't measure success by applause. He measures it by the way his children see him when the world is quiet, and by whether they know without a shadow of doubt, that's my dad, and I'm proud he's mine. There's nothing like that, folks.
So I'm just going to let that marinate in your spirit, and we're going to move on to the next one.
What are the...
Parenting requires wisdom. Now, I want to say this to the men, right? Everybody parents different. There's no manual. I can't look at your parenting style unless you're just a pushover. Then I can. But I can't look at your parenting style and say you're doing it wrong unless you're abusing a child or you're a pushover. And you can't look at my parenting style and say I'm doing it wrong. It's a case-by-case basis. Every child is different. Even if you are a parent of multiple children, you can't parent the children all under your same roof the same because they're not the same. They have different personalities, all of that. So it requires a certain level of wisdom. Proverbs 29 verse 15 says, the rod and reproof give wisdom. Reproof is correction. But a child left to himself, generic masculine, that's the women too, the girls too, bringeth his mother to shame. So you have to be willing, as a man, to be the bad guy when it comes to your children. You have to be willing, as a leader in Israel, right, to be the bad guy. If you are a leader, you are a father figure to the people that follow you. To the people that's under your leadership and your guidance, you're a father figure to them, whether you realize that or not. And so sometimes when it comes to counsels, when it comes to reproof and correction, you got to be willing to be the bad guy. And the reason why the Most High gives that to the man is because the man is okay with it. The man is okay with somebody not liking him if he knows he's doing the right thing, because he knows you'll see it later. For the most part, women are empaths. They have a lot more empathy. They don't like to see anybody upset. They want people to like them. They want to be liked. They're more social creatures. If people don't like them, it don't sit well with them. They can't sleep at night. And that's a beautiful thing. That's the balance. So the Most High gave that role to the man. Let's watch this video real quick.
Our strong fathers undermined it. Listen to this. Children don't need peers. They need stewards. Fathers are often undermined, not out of malice, but because our role is different. A father's job is to teach standards, discipline, accountability, responsibility that the world respects, not just what feels good at home. So oftentimes, he's going to be the villain. And here's another truth parents don't really like hearing. Stop telling me your child doesn't lie. Your children will lie like a rug about the other to get what they want. And when that lie confirms what one parent already feels about the other, too often that parent doesn't stop and say, nope, you're not going to play me. Instead, they fall into the trap. Not played by the other parent, but actually played by the child. That's why parenting requires wisdom and not emotion to drive decisions. Because here's the part we have to accept. The world does not care about your kid. Only you do. The world doesn't care where they came from. It only cares about who they are and when they arrive, what they can do. So if you're co-parenting, put the weapons down, folks. Stop using the child as leverage. Stop turning them into decision makers. Children don't need peers. They need stewards. Stewards who agree, stewards who communicate, stewards who are willing to be uncomfortable today so that their child can survive and thrive tomorrow in sports, in life. Get on the same page, folks.
Right. And that's very important because unfortunately, our community is broken and there's a lot of co-parenting that goes on in our community, right? And the father needs to be the disciplinarian, the villain if he has to be. Your sisters don't have to be that. You need to have a relationship with the father and allow him to play his role as the villain if he has to be that. Right? And if you don't have a father in the household, I'm going to show you some other methods that we can use as well. Let's go to the next slide.
Our strong.
She gets it. She gets it. She understands. Listen to the video.
I used to think my parents was holding me back until I realized, you know something? They've lived this life before. They've been my age before. So they might just be on to something. You get what I'm saying? When you're young, when I was a little bit younger, and this is plaguing a lot of young folks, for some reason we think we know more than we know. You really don't be knowing what you're talking about. Even if you don't listen to your parents, you need to just consider what they're saying. Your mama tell you not to do something, your daddy tell you not to do something. Before you totally rebel against that, just think about it. They probably not even giving you the worst advice. You get what I'm saying? Your parents don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you go down the same road they went down. Sometimes they might be a little overprotective. They might be a little overbearing. They might even just be projecting a little bit in certain instances. But you got to learn how to look at your parents and say, you know something? You got my best interest. And I feel like you got my best interest because you're my mama, because you're my dad. Even if you don't listen to them, don't get yourself in a situation where you're not honoring them, where you're not respecting them, because that rebellious spirit is going to pull you so far out of alignment that it ain't even funny. You go look up one day and you're not even going to be able to understand, how did you get here? You got here because you're not listening to your mother and your father. You got here because you judging your mom and your daddy so bad that you're not even looking at the fact that they giving you advice so you won't be in a position that they in.
And it's always at this age when people get into their 20s or whatever, especially when people start having children of their own, that's when the appreciation of the parent comes in. It's usually not until adulthood, and usually not until the child has a child of their own, they circle back and they look and they be like, that's what Pops was talking about. That's what Mom was talking about, right? You know? And hopefully you'll be blessed for them to be alive, for you to go back to them and be like, you know what? I'm sorry for everything I did. Sorry for all the times I didn't listen to you. Because you realize that what Dad was doing, and when he was being strict, and when he was saying no, when he was being what you deemed as overprotective, it was for a reason, and he was right. And that was his way of telling you he loved you. You was looking just for the words, I love you. You was looking just for him to come and hug you and rub your back and always tell you what you wanted to hear. That's not love. That's not love. Not really, not by itself alone, if that's all he's doing. No. Let's move on. What's the 5-to-1 ratio? I learned about this a long time ago. It applies to many aspects in life, but we're going to talk about healthy relationships. But this applies even outside of human relationships. It applies to a lot of things. I learned about this when I first got into management on jobs, when I first became a supervisor on a job where I had to critique people that worked in positions that were lower than mine. I learned about the 5-to-1 ratio. In order for anyone, we're talking about relationships today, that could be in a relationship between a man and a woman. It could be in a relationship between parents to children. It could be in relationships in a congregation in Israel. It could be in a relationship between leadership and somebody that they're shepherding or leading. This applies everywhere in life. In order for anyone to accept your correction, you need to be telling them more positive things about them at least 83, 84% of the time. If your interaction with somebody is always negative, you're always correcting, you're always finding fault, don't be surprised why after a while the person you're doing that to doesn't want to receive it. And today we're talking about fathers, and right now we're talking about between fathers and children. That's a big mistake a lot of fathers make with their children. You're always in correction mode, but you never praise them. No, you need to be praising your child the majority of the time. And that way, when the correction comes, it's a lot more impactful because they don't see you like that all the time. So they know they done messed up. Everybody following along? And again, you can apply this to friendships, romantic relationships, all that, but we're talking about between parents. Your interaction with your child should be mostly positive. Praise them for the good things that they do, and encourage and reinforce their good habits, their good traits, so forth and so on, so that when the time comes for the correction, they understand that that's not always how it is with you, and they'll receive it a little bit better. Hopefully everybody's following along and understands. Apply this to every relationship you have, though, and you'll get better results. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 144, verse 1. It says, "Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight." No, I didn't fail spelling class, guys. I was just typing fast. Okay, let me fix that real quick. Okay. Let's come back into the PowerPoint. All right, so let's watch this video. Self-defense is self-preservation. When it comes to a father is teaching their child how to live without him. Y'all saw that in the video earlier. Let's go ahead and let's watch this video. Let's turn the volume all the way up.
He started touching me and then I fight him back.
You're fighting? Why you look like you better cry about that? Ain't nothing wrong with fighting back. Somebody touch you, you're supposed to fight. You don't let nobody put their hands on you. Never. I don't care who it is. Nobody put their hands on you. You fight back. Always fight back. That's why we do these workouts. So you can be strong. So you can protect yourself. So you can protect your little sisters. You understand that? That's what we do it for. My job is to teach you what I know. So you can grow up and become a man yourself. Because one day, I ain't gonna be here with you. It's gonna be just you. So you're gonna have to lock in. And you're gonna have to keep up with your workouts. Dad ain't gonna be able to say, "Come on, BJ, let's go get these workouts." Not all the time. Sometimes you gotta do it for you. So that's why I've been trying to teach you this since you was a little baby. So you can learn how to get your own superpowers. So I'm trying to tell you, superpowers real, bro. That's how we lift so much weight, so strong. People work on these superpowers.
That's what love looks like for a man. It's not grabbing him and hugging him and rubbing his back and telling him, no, I'm teaching you something. I'm teaching you how to live and survive without me. Because I'm not going to always be here. And I can relate to that because I lost my father at 12. Wasn't always there, right? So you don't know. The Bible teaches us that tomorrow's not promised. So a good man, the way he shows love is preparing his children, his family to protect themselves if something happens. He's teaching young man, listen, if something happens to me, you protect your mother, you protect your sisters. So I'm raising you from young to do that's love. That's what love from a man looks like. Let's go to the next one. Now, in this particular situation, this young man doesn't have a father, right? So his mother put him in boxing, which is good. Why did she put him there? Because he was getting bullied, right? So now this coach takes on the role of a father figure. And this coach is loving on this young man, but it's not the love that people think. They think this is bad. Masculinity is bad. It's not. Men live a different existence than women. Now, I don't think a lot of women really understand that. I'm going to give you guys this video first, and I'm going to tell you guys a story. Let's watch the video for a second.
Why did you sign up for this class?
Not get pressed by other people.
You got a problem with getting pressed by other people?
Yeah, they always try like.
You want me to tell you why you get pressed by other people? As a former oppressor myself, because you show weakness all the time. No matter what you're doing, if you're uncomfortable, you show it. This is hard. That's weakness. People can sense that, whether you realize it or not, and it makes you a target. Should it make you a target? Absolutely not. But nevertheless, it does. You showing that you're uncomfortable energizes your opponent. Just like you show weakness, energizes bully.
In my school, they're like, want to be gangsters.
They want to be gangsters. I'm going to turn you into one, though. It's a mindset. They think they gangsters. They're not fucking gangsters. I'm going to turn you into a gangster, though. And rule number one, this is your first lesson for the day. You don't show no goddamn weakness. I don't care if it hurt. So go over there and stop showing weakness.
Y'all think that that's how love looks? That's how love looks from a man. I'm looking at you and I'm seeing you're a mark. And the wolves are going to feast on you. The worst thing I could do for you is rub your back. No. That's the worst thing as a man, as a young man, I could do for you. If I love you, the best thing I'm going to do for you is prepare you. And number one, you got to change your mindset. You got to steal your mindset. Can't show weakness. In this world, we're taught that, yes, we should encourage boys to be more emotional and show their emotions. To a degree, yes, because men have emotions like women have emotions. So to a degree, yes. A boy should be allowed to show his emotions and his feelings at times. But what I'm trying to tell sisters, mainly because men understand this, is that it's very dangerous for a man to do that most of the time. Because the wolves are always watching. And they're sizing you up. It's just the existence of a man. You live in a completely different existence. For young girls, a lot of times they're bullied in school by other young girls. So they have their own existence, their own problems, their own things that we're going to talk about when we get to the women's class. You have your own existence that a man will never understand. You have your challenges that a man will never understand. And I'm here to tell you that as men, young boys growing into teenagers, growing into men, there are challenges that as women you'll never understand. Never. The threat of violence from another man is ever present as a man, especially as a young man, especially when you're in school. The threat of violence is ever present. You're always being sized up. And at any time, somebody might come and lay hands on you just because. If they sense you're weak, they're going to come and prey on you just because. They're going to come into school and run your pockets. Take your lunch money, all that. That's the existence of a man. And men know that. And so you have to prepare your sons or any boy that's in your trust, that's in your vicinity. You have to prepare them for that. You don't coddle them. You prepare them for that. That's love. The worst thing you could do is to just coddle your boy and make it seem like, because you're not there at school. 24 hours. You're not there when he gets on the school bus. You're not. And y'all hear how passionate I'm talking about this because I live this. I live this. I went through this. I had fights on the school bus when I was young. I don't talk about it all the time. I got jumped twice when I was in school, twice, for being in the wrong place at the wrong time just because I'm a man, just because I was a boy, I was a teenager, and went into a neighborhood in my city where I lived at that I guess they was like, what you doing over here? Next thing I know is 3 or 4 dudes swinging at me at the same time. Just because. Twice. Those are not the only fights I had, but I'm talking about those particularly twice. That's the existence of a man. You do your child a disservice by acting like that doesn't exist. And so the way a man shows his love, he understands that because as a young man, he went through that. So he prepares his son. You're looking and saying, oh, be careful with him as a woman. Be careful. Don't know. Let him fall down. Let him bruise his knee. Let him cry. Because when he gets to school, it's going to be worse. When he gets on that school bus, it's going to be worse. When he gets into that playground after school, when no adults are around and the bullies are around, he's gonna be thankful that you taught him. I'm telling y'all something. So the mother did good by putting him in boxing. She did good.
Why?
Black fathers, we have a problem on our hands, and we as the men, as I said earlier. Like with the football team, we have to be accountable for that. Let's watch the video.
Did y'all see this young 15-year-old black kid shot point blank in New York? Fatherless kids all around. You can tell all these kids around them sitting there watching it.
So I want to say this because I don't want anybody to. First of all, we're having a conversation, right? Nothing should be personal. Nobody should be taking anything personal. There are a myriad of reasons why children are fatherless. In my situation, my father died. None of my mother did. My father just passed away, right? Sometimes the father is incarcerated. Sometimes the father's a deadbeat. So this is not laying blame on the women whatsoever. But when there's no hedge, right? The scriptures say, and I'm paraphrasing, the possession is spoiled. The father is the hedge. He's the strength of the house, right? Abba, right? Or alap, which is cattle, and ba, which is bayat, the strength of the house. He's the hedge that protects the house. He's the protector. And when there's no father, especially for a lot of these wayward boys that are emotional, chaos. And that's what he's talking about. And so there needs to be things in our community, especially since there's so many homes that are fatherless. There needs to be things in our community that step in to replace the father for these boys that don't have no fathers, like the boxing classes, like you guys saw. Let's watch the video.
Did y'all see this young 15-year-old black kid shot point blank in New York? Fatherless kids all around. You can tell all these kids around them sitting there watching, ain't got no daddies at home. It's disgusting, man, the way that this entire nation has turned. These fatherless kids are harassing the streets. I go into the courtrooms every week and see these kids. You look across, ain't no daddies in there. 1 out of 20 may have a daddy in the courtroom, where these kids are the ones out violating our communities in our neighborhood, and almost all of them are black. But then we want to talk about all these social justice issues and these issues and that issues. The issue is we ain't got black daddies in the house. And this is a problem that we need to try to fix as black men.
We're taking responsibility. We have to be accountable. We're not blaming the women for this. We have to be accountable for this as men, right? And also we have to be willing to mentor children that don't have a father that was out of their control. Something happened to the father. On the women's side, you have to be willing to have a man in your life. And the Bible says, be a father to the fatherless and not a husband to the mother. So you brothers, if there's a sister that comes along and has children and she asks you or you act as a mentor to the children, doesn't mean that you're supposed to sleep with the woman. It doesn't mean you're supposed to sleep with the woman. That's not the point. That's not the idea. The idea is you're supposed to be doing it because it's our responsibility as men. That's the idea.
We are letting our own communities and our country down. We're disgrace to the world. Disgrace to the world. 70% of our kids ain't got no mom and daddy together in the house with them raising them. And we don't think that's a problem? It's biblical. The last verse of the Old Testament. He shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. The curse that we're seeing right now is that curse, the fatherlessness curse. When you have people having babies and they don't take care of their kids and their kids go out there and harass the streets, it's a problem. You turn on a video, you see these kids walking around slapping old people, disrespecting old people. Look how they talk. I bring these young kids into our center. Every other word come out their mouth is a cuss word. Every other word. 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. They can care less if they're around an adult or anybody else. Man, we got real problems on our hands. It's getting worse and worse because we're getting woker and more woke and more woke and more woke. We want to be victims. You ain't a victim. If you live in the United States of America, you are not a victim. I'm sorry to break the news to you. It's the greatest country on earth.
All right, now he's going off. So we're going to stop him right there. He was doing good. Now he's going the hell off. But you guys get the idea. For the majority of the video, he was correct. We know what Esau did. We know the systems that he has in place, but we still have to take accountability for what's going on in our community because Esau is not going to change it. You can't expect the oppressor, the enemy, to change it. The change has to come from us. Let's move on. Then I see people popping into the room on Clubhouse. The link is at the top of the room to come over to YouTube so you guys can see these videos. Okay. Let's talk about this. And again, everybody's not going to agree with this. So you have your own opinion on it. You guys can argue about it in the comment section. It's all good. Healthy debate is good, right, amongst each other. I approve this message. I approve this message. This fellow over here put his hands on his mother. He don't look more than about maybe 7 or 8 years old to me. But he put hands on his mother, right? So there's this thing that we have called CPS, right? The Bible speaks about not sparing the rod, so forth and so on. We know. But that's a slippery slope. You know, your child go to school and said that you hit them, you know, with the belt or whatever like that. Your children could be removed from your home, right? So it's up to each individual as to how you guys are going to discipline your children, right? But there are creative ways to do it. So this young fella right here decided he wanted to put hands on his mother, right? Let's read Proverbs 23, verses 13 through 14. It says, withhold not correction from the child. So correction is not always beating them. I'm not saying don't. I'd be a liar if I said that because I did that myself. So I'm not saying don't. But correction doesn't always look the same. And I'm going to show you guys parents correcting their children without ever beating them. It says, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he will not die, which is true. Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell, from the grave. In other words, you discipline your children are not going to be in the streets. They're less likely to be in the streets where death is waiting for them out here in these streets, right? But again, you have to balance the scriptures, right? We live in a modern society, so we have to use wisdom. So we have to balance the scriptures with where we live. And sometimes you have to be creative with what's called the rod of correction. So in this particular video, this fella here decides to put hands on his mother. His mother has him in boxing with the same boxing guy we saw before. So his rod of correction is going to be, the boxing coach is going to put him in the ring against the best boxer his age, and he's going to get his ass whooped. He's going to get his ass whooped by his peer for putting hands on his mama. And I endorse this message. Y'all may not. It don't have to. I approve this message.
Your head don't hurt. And if it do hurt, I don't give a damn. You deserve it. You put your hands on your mother. So put your headgear on and get your mouthpiece on. But you're not about to get away with putting your hands on your mother. Do you understand? The one person in this world that will never turn their back on you. You could go kill 50 people. She's still going to love you. And you put your hands on her. Do you think I'm going to let you get away with that? You know better than that, right? But you're going to learn today. Let's go.
This is love.
You'll hit your mom, but you won't fight and protect yourself. That's crazy. Go in there and fight.
Did y'all see that? One punch, and the guy over here, the good fighter, the best fighter, knocked him down, and he's not even defending himself. So you'll hit your mother, but you won't fight somebody that wants to fight you back. Let's go back and let's watch that again. This is the next best thing to hitting them with the rod for real. This is good stuff. I approve this.
What? You gonna learn today? Let's go. Yeah, go.
Boom.
You'll hit your mom, but you won't fight and protect yourself. That's crazy. Go in there and fight. That's right. That's what I want to see. Fight. Yeah. Bring your hands. Put your hands on your mom. Ain't nobody giving you no sympathy out of here. Ooh, Cal, you should have hit his ass with that uppercut. You are not doing bad. All you have to do is stop turning your head. Good. Fight. Good. Fight. Good. Go. Good. Don't turn around. Good. Fight him. Time. Get out, Kyle.
And I know some of y'all that was tough. Not my baby. That's the problem. That's why your children are a terror. That was good stuff. And that's how men show love. He loved that little boy, and he saved that little boy from himself. You don't have to agree. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all could put y'all disagreement in the chat. I'm telling y'all what I feel, what I see. We're going to go back to Sirach chapter 30. We're going to pick it up from verse number 8. A horse not broken becometh headstrong. So you have to break your children young. Here's more creative discipline for children that are out of order. You don't always have to beat them with the belt. Not always. A horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. They're going to do what they want to do. They don't listen to nobody. Cocker, meaning coddle. Cocker thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. It's talking about boys and girls. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Discipline your children. It don't always have to be whooping them. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying don't, because I sure did. But that's not all. If you do that all the time, after a while, children become immune to that too. I hope y'all know that. If you do that all the time, if that's always your recourse, children become immune to that after a while. So you might want to, hey, as you watch the video, you might want to switch it up. You'll give y'all ideas. Anyway, I'm not giving you ideas. The videos I'm playing are giving you guys ideas. Check it out.
You straightening up your legs? I don't want your legs straight. Bend your legs. Back your feet up, son. Back your feet up, son. Yeah. Bend them knees. See how your sister's knees are? Yeah. I want you just like that. Pick them arms out, little girl. You make me repeat myself. When I tell you to do something, you do it the first time. I'm not with that second time stuff. You understand me? I say things out my mouth one time to you. If I say go get something, you go get it immediately. Not no ands, no ifs, no but. Daddy, I don't care what you're doing. You drop it and you go do exactly what your dad's telling you to do. That goes for you too, little boy. You understand me? Okay. So now every time y'all act up or we have some type of problem, you don't do your homework, you getting back, you getting stuff back from the school from your teachers, y'all gonna come home and y'all are going to get disciplined in this gym. 100% every time. And y'all gonna run hills and y'all gonna run that hill down and back 10 times. I promise you that. The same way y'all did tonight. You understand me? You standing up? You better squat your little butt down, boy. Sit down some more.
I love it.
And that's how I go in this house. I'm not here to play.
Okay.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
What, I don't understand talk.
Okay.
It's yes what?
Yes, sir.
You get that, little girl?
Yes, sir.
Who's mad? Somebody, my spirit tells me somebody upset. Somebody's upset. This is good stuff.
Stay strong, little boy. Stay strong. Okay. You better not drop a tear. Stay strong.
It's ain't nothing but mental, son. Stay strong.
This is so your children are not running around at 15 years old getting shot down in the street like the brother said. Because you think this is bad. This is better than that. This is better than that.
You strong or you weak? Are you strong or you weak?
No.
Let me hear you say it.
No.
Toughen up then.
Okay.
You strong or you weak?
See, when he was getting calls about her in school, she wasn't crying then. Right? She wasn't crying then when she was misbehaving in school. Right? When he told her to do something and she gave him some attitude and said she didn't want to do it, she wasn't crying then. So why should we care that she's crying now? Huh? But see, sometimes, and there's no disrespect to the sisters, some of y'all don't have the stomach for this, which is why the man being in the house is so essential, because we have the stomach for it. We don't care about the tears and nothing. This is love. You don't have to treat every child like this. Some children, you don't have to go to this extreme because they listen. But for the ones that don't, you got to put the hammer down. It is what it is. Here's another fella, right? You don't excuse bad behavior. So what does the caption say? Your son decided he was going to run through the barbershop while you were in the chair. So I'm already picturing it. Daddy's in the chair. Little boy's running through the barbershop, right? And daddy's saying, sit down. And little boy's looking at him like, I ain't sitting down. Like, he testing you. I ain't sitting down, right? And you looking at him, I'm going to get you later. Some of you brothers know what I'm talking about. You've been there. I've been there. I'm going to get you later, right? So now later has come. You don't have to do it in the barbershop where everybody can see you. But now later has come. Now it's time to pay the piper, right? And now when you was running around in the barbershop, you wasn't crying. But now that you're home and you're being disciplined, now you're crying. Let's watch the video. Praise the Lord. This is love.
Baby boy had a little hard time sitting still today while I was in.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all what's going on, right? It's hard enough, me, you know what I'm saying, being a guy that works out, a lot of everybody knows that. It's hard enough for me to get adults to come to the gym and do squats. Imagine, what is he, 7 to 8 years old? If adults don't want to do squats, surely an 8-year-old doesn't like doing squats. So daddy got him doing squats, yeah, right? Mm-hmm.
Baby boy had a little hard time sitting still today while I was in the chair, but it's all good. You know, it's a part of the game. We got to discipline him, man. But I just want to show y'all how discipline looks in my household. It's not always resort to hitting. That is the last resort I try to go to. I'm not judging anybody that do. I'm not saying I don't, but just make sure they understand why and you reassure them with love. Come. Do you know why you squat? Why were you squatting? You didn't listen to what? What were you told that you didn't do? Where? When we were inside the barbershop, right? And not only did I have to say something to you, the barber had to say something to you too, right? You know how to sit down, correct? So let's make sure the next time we won't have to go through this and you sit down. I didn't do it because it's out of anger or that I'm mad at you, but you will learn the importance of listening, especially when it's for your benefit. You understand that, right? I'm not mad at you. Your workout was done and over. Give me a hug. No, I'm good. Thank you.
It's either you teach your children to listen and respect authority, or Esau will do it in the streets, the police, the prison warden. I'd rather be the guy to teach my children to listen.
Nah, that part, what he did right there, I think is more important than the discipline, because just yesterday I had to do that to my son, at least the 4-year-old, right? I told him not to do something. He kept doing it over and over, and I gave him that look. So then, you know, I had to discipline him. And then, you know, mom is, oh, baby, and run to, no. So I called him. I said, come here. You know why I did that. And you should explain to them why you did what you did. So it's not, they understand, oh, that is not just being a bully. That is not just doing certain things. He's doing it because you know why I did that, right? And he said the same thing. Yes, because I was misbehaving. So I think you illustrating and explaining to them why you did it is even more important than discipline, because they understand, oh, okay, when I do that, this is what's going to happen. That's why dad does that. And it's very important.
100%. Patience is the key in the midst of affliction, right? So now this is not a misbehaving child. It's just this child is being learned or taught about boxing. And Elder Zahab, he knows about this because he has his children, you know what I'm saying, in martial arts, so forth and so on, which is very good because it teaches children very important building blocks: patience, discipline, control. These are good things that can actually bleed over into your spiritual life. All right, this is James chapter 1, verse 1. It says, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Verse 2, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So taking it to the example of boxing, right? In boxing, sometimes if you watch a boxing match, it's all about patience, right? You got to find your spots. You can't just be throwing punches just to throw punches. No, you got to pick your spots, find your spots. Sometimes you have to be patient and wait for an opening to open up. You got to be patient under pressure, right? Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Let's watch the video.
Turn it over. See, yeah. See, sometimes a man who never got hit in the face don't know how to react. You may run, you may cry, you may panic, you may pick up a gun, all because you don't know how to get hit. A man got to learn how to get hit and adjust. Jab. Solid. Very solid. Make sure you're turning it over, okay? We're not punching like this. We're turning it over, all right? Be ready. Wait till I tell you. I'm going to tell you when. Relax. Turn it over. Turn it over. Turn it over. See, yeah. Stay ready, all right? Jab. All right, here we go. Breathe. Calm down. Jab. Listen. Every man who's ever been in a fight, relax. What you mean? Listen. You said accusation? What you said? Because it caught you off guard? Scared you a little bit? Listen, that's what I'm saying. Every man who's ever been in a fight, every last one of them has gotten hit. All right, so you're going to get hit. I'd rather you get hit now so I can teach you what to expect and we can adjust it, like teach from it, versus we never do this. You never get hit, and the first time you get hit. See, sometimes a man who never got hit in the face don't know how to react. You may run, you may cry, you may panic, you may pick up a gun, all because you don't know how to get hit. A man got to learn how to get hit and adjust. So if I hit you, it's cool. It may hurt, it may scare you, it may make you mad. Stay calm, and we get back to the work. Everybody got hit. Hit me. I didn't get hit a lot, but I didn't hit people a lot too. So you got to learn how to hit and get hit at the same time. Just be ready. All right, hands up. Feet right. Don't lean forward. Sit back, relax, protect, jab. Good. Yeah. Good. Don't lean forward. Relax, jab. Good. Cross. Turn that back foot, cross.
And you can apply that to your spiritual life as well. Just think about it the same way. You're going to get hit, you know what I'm saying? But you learn to protect yourself after a while. You learn to adjust. You expect to get hit. You expect for things to happen into your life, that things are that you know what I'm saying, those things out of whack for a second, right?
Hey, was it Mike Tyson who said that? Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face?
Until they get punched in the face, right?
A lot of us Israelites, we got a plan until the Most High punch you dead in the face. You're right. Like, oh my God. Right.
You apply that to your spiritual life, but also dealing with today's lesson, you teach that to your children, that you're going to get punched in the face in life. And you don't resort to going out and getting a gun or doing whatever because you got punched in the face in life. And that can be literal too, not just figurative, literal. Because as a man, you're going to get into fights. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? People are going to test you and all that. That's just what it is, right? I'm going to teach you how to be prepared that when somebody punches you in the face, you punch them back. And they realize that, okay, I'm not dealing with somebody that's a sucker right here. I got a fight on my hands. You know what I'm saying? For real. So there's a literal message behind this, and there's a figurative message behind this as well. But we're dealing with the literal. This is how a man shows love to his children. Love don't look like what people think it looks like. So when people say masculinity is toxic, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is necessary, especially for the boys. But we have a lot more to cover. Let's keep going. I don't want to
right over.
Because brothers, if you are not in your son's life, if you don't put the mitts on and let your sons throw some hands and throw some punches, the alternative is your son could be doing this. Okay. So the little boy has her heels on and they're doing that challenge, whatever the challenge was, the boy doing that. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer for your son to be the boy in the last video or this boy? Because unfortunately for some boys, this is what happens. This is what they're taught. And they're not taught about how life really works. And so when life punches them in the face, they get emotional, run out and get a gun because they was wearing their mama's heels and doing TikTok challenges, right? And then life punches them in the face and they run and get a gun and act out of emotion because there was nobody to really lay that foundation for them.
It's my take that one of the many of the lowlives that is allowed to run in and out of her house and pounce atop of her throughout the month is the reason that this young boy is the way he is. And this
is sad. I'm going to move on because I have a lot to show. Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 16 through 17. It says, "For which cause we faint not." It means don't give up. "But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh us a far more exceeding eternal weight of glory." So you never give up, right? So this is a 7-year-old with his father. His father is teaching him not to faint. Don't give up.
You understand? You ready? What is it?
Easy work.
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 4, go. Ah, what is it?
Easy work.
What is it?
Easy work.
There you go. Go. Come on. What is it?
Easy work.
What is it? Come on.
Easy work.
What is it?
Easy work.
What is it? We got a couple more. Come on, put it. What is it?
Easy work.
What is it? Come on, 2 more. Come on, 1 more.
Easy work.
Oh, give me 1 more. 1 more. 1 more. Show him. Ah, yeah. Good work.
I love it. Let's move on.
You understand?
Now, I showed you a lot about the sons. We got to talk about the daughters too, because they're important. This is Proverbs 23, verse 24. It says, "The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him." Again, we're talking about girls too. This is a generic masculine. So this guy has a series of videos on TikTok where he has conversations with his daughter. She's 2 years old. So apparently she was throwing a tantrum because she didn't get her way. So this is the conversation that he has, telling her about controlling her anger. And she's only 2, but she understands because she's responding. Watch the video.
You know what we gotta talk about?
Yeah.
What? Not getting what you want when you want it. Okay? When you don't get what you want when you want it, that don't mean you can act like that. Okay? You continue to be nice, polite, and mature. Okay? Did you drink my latte? You didn't drink my latte?
Yeah.
I'll pick a song and you pick a song.
Okay.
Don't knock this over, okay? Remember I sang this song to you when you were taking a bath?
So it's a balance
you know
of.
what I'm talking about?
So it's a balance of correcting her, but at the same time being patient with her too. She's only 2. So like the Sahab said before, you give her the correction, right? You tell her where she went wrong, and then you get back to the good part with your children. That's what it's about. You have real talk with your children, not baby talk.
You know what we talking about today? What? Always remember, I never want you to get small in tough times, okay? When things get hard, I don't want you to shy away from it. I want you to stand tall, learn from it. Everything in life can be hard, but as long as you never give up, you give yourself a chance, okay? I want you to always remember that, okay? High five. Hey, I have value. Confident. I'm very proud of you. Which one? Let's do today. Can I play one and you play one like we did last time?
This is excellent parenting, right? Excellent parenting. You talking to the child, that baby talk and all that stuff gets them nowhere. Talk to them. She's responding, so clearly she understands. So you deal with her accordingly, and you lay that foundation from the beginning. That's the idea.
You know,
this is beautiful too. So you have two brothers here. These boys don't have a father. So the older brother plays the role of, I ain't gonna say plays the role of the father, but he mentors his younger brother. Now, some of you sisters, you would go in a room and you would see this, you'd be like, break it up, please stop. No, this is good stuff. I walk in the room, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna get some popcorn. I'm like, this is good stuff, right? The younger brother, the older brother is teaching his younger brother how to defend himself. And the younger brother is actually pretty good. So as you guys are gonna watch the video, I want y'all to pay attention. The older brother throws a punch. Now he's kind of playing with his younger brother. He's not really going full with the brother, but he throws a punch and the younger brother is able to slip it. If you know about boxing, he was able to slip the punch and he starts bragging. Like, you saw the way I slipped that, right? You saw the way I slipped that. He's teaching his brother to defend himself. This is good stuff. This is manhood. This is love. He loves his little brother. This is what men do. Love don't look the way people say it's supposed to look. This sort of thing is called toxic. It's not. If you understand the existence of a man and what a man goes through in life from the time of a child through elementary school, through high school, and the threat of violence is always present, you would never look at this as toxic. Let's play the video.
What's that? Look. You know this is my hand, right? You know this is my hand, right? Come on. I love you.
Now that was good. He did slip that punch. I'll play it again. But I know the mama, some of you women would have ran in like, break it up. This is good stuff.
He ate the second one though, but it's all good. He ate it like a champ.
Yeah, like I said, the little bear is nice. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna play the video. I'm not gonna stop it. I keep stopping. I'm not gonna stop it. Little man is actually pretty nice. I don't think anybody in the school gonna want no smoke. I'm saying.
What's that? Look. You know this is my hand, right? You know this is my hand, right? I love you. Look at that slip. Well, I know you saw that. I couldn't put it. I'm gonna stop saying it. No. Oh, me, come on. You don't know why you're like, come on. Come on. No. Come on, Dad.
This is good stuff, man. He's teaching his brother.
What? Okay, slap me, brother. Give me care. Go ahead. Give me care. You can do that if you want to. I like it. Yeah. Do that if you want to. Do that if you want to.
He playing with his brother. You see him toying with him, but he teaching him.
Go ahead if you want to. Play soccer. Play soccer. What's my name? Play soccer. You can do that if you want to. You go ahead and do that. Folks look at you. You can do that if you want to. That's blocks. That's blocks. You know, you run ahead. You can do that. Now, run. You can't get no face shot on my mama. You want to test it out? You want to test it out? On my mother. Yeah. You want to test it out? Yeah. What's that? On my mother. What's that?
It's good stuff, man. I love it.
Come on, my mother, you can't.
If you see him, and I know Zahab, you got boys. Zahab got all boys. Cynthia got bored. You see your sons in there doing this. As long as it's not toxic, as long as it's not hard, let it happen. Let it happen.
Hey, priest, it's always be the younger one too. But I got a sister post a question, and I just want to address it real quick before you move on, not to divert.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a sister. I could be wrong, but I think it's a sister. Ka'ala Dabash, right? The sister said, "What if there's a man in the house, but he doesn't do all of these things?" She said, "What about a father that's around but doesn't do any of these things? A man you have to tell what to do all the time."
So the sad part about it, sister, just to give you a brief answer, the sad part about it is, unfortunately, like I said, a lot of brothers are responsible. They have to be held accountable for not doing this for their sons because they're the ones that's supposed to be. But what I'm going to say to you, when we get to the sisters one, I'm going to show you this, right? Some of the sisters sometimes take on the responsibility of making sure their son is someplace in a football program, someplace in a karate class, someplace in a boxing class, someplace. You got to put him around men that's going to push him. If the man that's there is not doing it, that's a failure on the part of that man. Let's be clear. That is a failure on the part of that man. However, if you know that your sons need this, which I'm telling you, your sons need this, put him someplace where he can get it.
Right.
That's the best answer. Go ahead, Zab. If you want to add to that, then we'll move on.
I just want to add also, why is he not doing it? You know, that's communication where you got to talk to the man and figure out what's going on. Is it because there's two sides to every story, sis? Where the priest just commented based on face value. Now, is it a situation where the man working 2-3 jobs? Is he tired? Is he physically unable to do it? Because I know there's brothers who might work 2 jobs just to, you know, keep things afloat. And the one day off the brother get, he might be tired as heck. So he can't take them to the game. He can't take them to Little League or football or this, that, the third, you know? So it's a situation of why is he not doing it? Okay, sister said he's just stuck in his ways. Then you got to communicate with the brother, sister, because, you know, you chose him. I'm assuming he's the father of your children, you know, so y'all got to work it out, fasting, prayer, and you know what I mean? There's always the answer. There's always the answer. We might not have the quick answer that is wrapped in a bowl, 1, 2, 3. It's more dynamic than that, but what you're saying, sis, you got to take it to the Most High. You know what I mean? I'm assuming he's an Israelite too, right? I'm assuming he's a God-fearing man, tries to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. If he does, then y'all got to take it to the Lord and pray and fasting. Because again, it's two sides. There's a reason why he's not doing what he's doing. And I'm not defending him. He could be a straight up bum. But at the same time, it could be other external forces too. We don't know. And I'll land right there.
And until he gets to the point where he's doing this for his children, put your children in some. Get them involved in some activities where they're around respectable male figures that you respect, that you can trust. Get them around, get your children around those people, and unfortunately have them do the job that their father is supposed to do. That's the only other option until he gets his act together. Because boys need this. The ones that don't have this are the ones that's getting bullied in school. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Daughters need it too. This is the part that they don't see. When you look at the Williams sisters, the ones that became great tennis players, right? Legendary tennis players. It was their father that pushed them, right? Although they don't deal with their father now in their older age and they date white men or whatever like that, if it wasn't for their father, they would not have achieved what they achieved because he was the one that was in the trenches with them, right? And he was tough on them, right? And made them into champions. That's how it goes. I don't know how many of you guys saw the movie, the Michael Jackson movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard the reports. The movie centers around making Joe Jackson into a villain. But if Joe Jackson wasn't the way he was, and we don't know how much of what we're being told in the movie is actually true and really happened, or is artistic license. We don't know. We don't know any of that. We just know what we're told. We're on the outside looking in. But what I do know is if he didn't do what he did, there would have been no Jackson 5. There would have been no Michael Jackson. There would have been that, right? So he had to be the villain. Am I saying that he should have been abusive? Of course not. Now, how much of the abuse is actually true versus how much of it is exaggerated, I don't know. But I do know if you want to push your children, sometimes you're going to be the villain in the story. This is facts. Y'all ever watch college football games? Do you see the way the coaches be talking to the players on the sideline? Do you guys see that? The coach is the villain. The way they talk to these guys. Have you watched a college basketball game before? And see the way the coaches talk to the players? It would look on the outside as though it's toxic, but it's the way that you have to, talk to them for them to dig deeper. To extract that greatness out of them, you have to be the villain and almost straddle the fence of that person in the moment, hating you. But men are okay with that.
It's okay. It hurt. On the other side of this, it's the stuff that you've been dreaming about.
So I want to prepare y'all. The young girl, wants to be good at track and field. She wants to be good, right? She's expressed this to her father. So her father understands that if she really truly wants that, what that's going to look like is she's going to have to dig deep, and he can't baby her. And so when the realities of what it's like behind the scenes, the part that you don't see, in order to be great, the sacrifice, the discipline, the toll on your body that it takes, the young girl starts breaking down and crying because I'm saying it looks good on TV, but to actually do it is hard work. And he's reminding her, hey, this is what you said you wanted, and I want it for you. So I'm not going to feed into your tears. I'm going to keep pushing you because I remember what you told me you wanted. And the only way to get it is to push through. This is love. Even with her crying, not rubbing her back, not coddling her, just telling her, I'm going to keep pushing you because you said this is what you want.
It's okay. It hurt. On the other side of this, it's the stuff that you've been dreaming about. On the other side of this is the stuff that you told me that you wanted to do. So my job is to make sure that you get it done. So on the other side of this, in a second, you're going to be like, man, this was so easy. My job is to make this easy for you. Yes, it's going to hurt right now, but on the other side of this hard work, it's going to be everything that you told me you wanted. This is the part that they don't see that's important. Go! But this is just the beginning. Okay?
Right. You got to sometimes be the villains. You got to sometimes push a little hard. You're going to get some tears and everything. And the woman's nature, which is beautiful, that's the balance between man and woman. She starts crying as an empath because women are empathetic, to start hugging her and feeding into her tears. And you get emotional. No. And that's why the man is essential. That's why the balance is essential. The yin and the yang is essential because the man's going to be like, no, you said you want this. I'm going to push you as far as I can to see if you really want it. And if you achieve it, you're going to look back later and say, thank you. Right? I was the villain in the short term, but in the long term, I'm the hero of the story. You get it? Men understand that. This is how they show love. It doesn't look the same, but it's still love and it's not toxic. Let's continue. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have seen this video before. I think a lot of y'all probably have. If you haven't seen this video, it's very sad. We have to give these babies self-esteem from early. Yes, ladies, yes, sisters, you telling your daughters that they're beautiful and everything is a wonderful thing, but it hits different when it's a father telling her that. It hits different when it's a father telling her that. Have you guys seen this video before? So this baby was taken to a hairstylist. I don't know if it's the mother or the father or both that took her to a hairstylist. And the baby looked at the camera and said, I'm ugly. Somebody been telling this baby that she's ugly. Somebody's been telling her she's ugly. And she don't look more than 5 or 6 to me. At 5 or 6 years old, she has internalized that she's ugly. She's internalized that, y'all. She believes it. Let's watch the video.
Like I'm so ugly. What?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You are so pretty. You all shut up. Go in the room. When you look at yourself, you're supposed to say, I'm so pretty. You are so pretty. Do you hear me? You got the prettiest little dimples. You are too cute.
So it's obvious that little girl probably has been getting bullied.
And that's the girls thing. We're going to talk about that. We talk about the girls. Somebody been telling her she's ugly. So she believes she's ugly. Somebody been bullying her. Like I said, what the boys go through, the women will never understand. And what the girls go through, the men will never understand. Somebody, and more likely than not, it's another female, been telling Shorty, the little girl, because she's looks how she looks, they've been telling her she's ugly. Okay?
Somewhere is consistently telling her that she's ugly to the point where she starts to actually believe it. And when she sees herself, she calls herself ugly.
That's a problem. That's a problem. So we're going to leave that there. And we're going to go to the next slide. And that's why we need stuff like this. That's why we need stuff like this. Let's read the Bible first. This is Psalms 144, verses 9 through 12. It says, I will sing a new song unto thee, O God, upon a psaltery, and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. That our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth. This is the part I want. And that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace. A palace represents something beautiful, right? So we want our daughters to embrace their beauty no matter how they look, no matter what their hair texture is, no matter what their complexion is, no matter what any of these things is. You start instilling these things in children from young. And yes, it's a beautiful thing for a mother to tell her children this, her daughter this, but it hits different when it's coming from a man, when it's coming from a father, that she's being told she's beautiful. It is different because more likely than not, she's going to grow up and she's going to be looking for a husband, right? And she needs to believe and understand that she's beautiful. She's not ugly. She needs to have self-esteem and self-worth, right? And a man plays an intricate role in teaching girls that. Let's watch the video.
Oh my gosh. What are my eyes beholding? Look at what God blessed me with. Such a beautiful princess. You look amazing. I feel like the luckiest dad in the world right now. Look at you. Beautiful eyes. And that's not a bow, is it? Maybe that's a bow. I can lose it right now. Can I cry? Is it okay if I cry? What, can I have a kiss?
Do you understand what that does for a child? Do you understand how she will look at herself hearing that from her father? Let's go to the next one.
Come on, princess. Oh my gosh, God, you done did it again. Look at my beautiful baby girl, inside and out, baby. And you have the most beautiful eyes, the most beautiful smile. And look at you got the little sparklies, baby. I see so much strength, joy, and love in your eyes, baby. Daddy's lucky. I'm a lucky dad. I'm sorry. Can we tell the camera we're lucky? Say, Daddy's lucky.
Now, when she grows up, do you think she's going to accept BS from any guy? Do you think any guy is just going to be able to say anything and get through to her? Do you understand the foundation that her father is setting? Do you understand the standards that she's going to have for a man when she gets older because of what her father is saying to her? All this is important. That baby that we saw before, she doesn't have that. That's why she thinks she's ugly. There's nobody telling her that. Let's move on.
Come on,
and we got to teach children not to be bullies. So this young lady came on stage and the audience was bullying her. So the man had to step in and say something to the audience about bullying her and how he don't respect bullies. Let's watch the video.
How you doing? You good? No, I'm proud of you, right? It's okay.
Hey, it takes a lot of courage to be up here. All that giggling, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't play that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's somebody that's going through something, dealing with something. She had the courage to be vulnerable. And it ain't funny if I come check with you and see, I'm keeping it real with you. I don't know who was laughing, but I guarantee the people that's laughing, I bet you ain't living your best life. That ain't funny. I bet you got your struggles too if I sat down and talked with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here just to be a speaker and get claps. I'm here to create change. So she can have courage up here to stand up here and go through her things. Y'all should support her. Y'all should clap her, because to me, she's the bravest person in this room. Straight up. I got you. All right? I love y'all, man. I do. I promise you, I love each and every one of y'all. But this is something I don't play with, because I've lost too many people to depression, man. You know what I mean? I really lost people in real life. You got me up here crying too. We just up here crying together. Let them judge us, right? We're gonna give them something great to judge.
That's why when people say that men don't love, I don't know, y'all looking at romance novels, y'all looking at Hollywood, you're looking at fairy tales. That's not how a man's love looks. A man's love looks like what I'm showing y'all in these videos. It's that underappreciated, underrated, misunderstood. Nobody really is trying to take time to understand that a man shows love in a different way. And it looks like what I've been showing y'all. This is Sirach 42, verse 9. It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. Fathers lose sleep over their daughters. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. Let's watch the video.
Never disrespect.
Man.
Never call a man
names.
If a man disrespect you,
Remove myself from the situation.
and who you gonna call?
You.
If a man cheat on you,
I will not stoop to his level and cheat back.
why?
Because I'm classy.
What you gonna do?
Remove myself.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, priest. And I like what he's telling the sister, remove herself. You know what I mean? So she don't have to deal with certain things. And this is like, obviously they're not following the commandments, but there is righteousness in what they're teaching. You know what I mean? So especially for the young daughters, man, because psychologically coming up, it's messed up, man, because you see a lot of stories where sisters, they stay in toxic relationships and stuff like that. It's just so sad. I hate to say it, they do everything but leave, right? They're in a bad situation and they key the man's car, they burn down the house, they do everything but leave. You know what I'm saying? So you teaching the young sister coming up, hey, don't deal with certain things. Therefore, at the proven stage, before she even mess with anybody, she could spot a bum or a toxic dude a mile away. You see what I'm saying, priest? Instilling that in a young girl, a young princess, she has that within her now. When it's time for her to choose if she wants a partner and be with somebody, she could see and spot the red flags, and then she could be like, okay, now I'm good now, before it gets to the point where, good Lord, she slept with this one, and baby daddy number one, he was wicked, I left, and baby daddy number two, he was just as we got to break the cycle, man. But this is beautiful here. All praises.
So for 2 hours, we've watched a lot of videos. When y'all go to social media, you hear people say there's no good men anymore. You guys been watching 2 hours worth of good men in every video. There's good men everywhere. That trope is fake. It's fake. There's good men everywhere. You just have to we all have to make better choices. As men, there's good women everywhere. You just have to make the right choices. And as women, there's good men everywhere. You just got to make the right choices. You just got to take your time and make the right choices. She's going to make the right choices because she's being taught how to vet what to do. Because there's a present man, and she can learn about men better from a man than she could from a woman. Just like in Proverbs 31, the best advice that Lemuel could get was from his mother. About a woman knows a woman, right? And a man knows men. So who better to teach a son about what women are and what a good woman is than his mother? And who better to teach a daughter what a good man is than a father? This is good stuff. There's good men everywhere. That trope is fake. Here goes some more good brothers. This is Proverbs 15, verse 1. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Now, I have done this. I'm saying that sometimes I'll sit around and I'm bored, and I'll pick up my phone, I'll go to TikTok, and I'll go down the rabbit hole of watching the body cam videos of police officers making traffic stops, right? And it'd be the black people. I'm just gonna say this. It'd be us. It'd be the black people. That's all I'm gonna say, right? And as black men, we got to teach the boys, you are a target. You don't get to act out even the way our sisters act out, because in the videos of the body cam videos, the sisters be crashing out. But as a man, you don't get to have that luxury. You just don't. So you teach the boys from young what not to do. So these brothers got a group of young men. They hired some police officers, and they're doing a fake traffic stop, and they're showing what the young men what not to do if you get pulled over. It doesn't mean that the police were not wrong for pulling you over. It doesn't mean that they didn't have probable cause. All that could be true. But you black, right? So you already guilty. You already probably doing something wrong, whatever, in their mind. So you have to, sometimes you can avoid a toxic situation. You could avoid a situation that could escalate, maybe get you killed with a soft answer, even though you're right. You got to teach the kids this. This is good stuff that these brothers are doing. Let's watch the video.
Yo. I ain't got to roll my window down.
Yes, sir. Did you roll your window down for me?
I don't have to.
Okay, so you ain't gonna roll your window down. You got your driver's license?
I do. There you go. Yep.
Mr. Brown, 6 lane.
That's what they say on the light, man.
I put you up to speed, man. You doing 70 and 55. Why you going so fast?
Man, you ain't got nothing better to do. I was speeding. Somebody out here done got killed and everything. What I mean, what's up? Well, that's what you need to be worried about. All these folk around here dying all the time. Bro, I'm just chilling, bro. I'm good. I ain't got to step out the car. Why am I stepping out the car?
Because right now you're dealing with hostile. I can't see inside the vehicle for one right there. You won't even cooperate.
All right, I'll let the window down. Nah, you just said you can't see inside the car. Man, y'all always trying to do something for folk, man. Why I got to step out the car? Man, what come on, bro. Come on, y'all, man. Y'all, police brutality. Police brutality. Police brutality, y'all. Man, come on, man. Man, y'all said I was speeding. Now I'm about to go. For what, bro? Come on. So what? Man, it don't matter, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Now you're gonna make the situation worse on yourself.
So talk to me. What's all that? What's the first thing I did? Now look, do I have to roll my window all the way down? Nah, you don't gotta roll it all the way down. You ain't got to. But when you do that, we already put them on alert. You understand that? Yes, if I sit there and start out with all that and not roll my window down, I'm putting him on alert off top. You understand that? Yes, sir.
Everybody following along? This is good stuff. A lot of people get into the nuances of, well, I didn't do nothing. What we know, but you're black. You're a black man, so you already put the guy on alert. He could have been having already a bad day. Forget about if it's Esau. Forget about if it's Esau. That's even worse. He might not like niggas and he's having a bad day. You could avoid that by just, you know what? I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I know he shouldn't have stopped me. You know what? But I'm trying to get home to my family. Let me just go ahead, run my license, go ahead, whatever. Yes, officer, no officer. It doesn't make you less than. This is good stuff. This is what men do. This is love. Let's continue. Now we're going to do a third hour, guys, because I spoke to the God First gang yesterday and they're not doing a room. So normally I end the class here, but I did an extended class today because we're going to do a third hour. So if you got someplace to be, gone, but we're going to do a third hour. We're going to keep going, right? This is a brother, man, and this brother is, I watch his videos a lot, and this is love too. This particular brother specializes in giving autistic children haircuts. I didn't put haircuts there. We're going to build it while we fly. Let me go ahead and put that in there. Isn't that right? He specializes in giving autistic boys haircuts, right? So these children have problems, but they need a haircut sometimes. And so he made it his business to, I'm going to give autistic children haircuts, and I'm going to be patient with them. Let's watch the video. And what it's doing is he's showing you the progression. The first week, the little boy was going crazy. But by this, I want you guys to watch how he gets the child to trust him. I know y'all be like, you always stop the video. I don't want to stop the video, so I'm preparing you for what you're watching. I want you guys to watch the techniques that he uses to teach the autistic child to trust him, to let him cut his hair. This is love. Watch.
Stories like this remind me what grace and patience can do from a place of love. And sometimes fights are to show who will leave and who will stay. Perfect. See, 1,
watch
2,
the progression.
3.
Now he's not fighting.
4, 5. You did it. See what I'm saying? You did a good job. Thank you. Good job. Awesome job. Hey, Dominic, can I see you for a second? Real sick. Can I see real quick? Thank you. 1. Raise your hand. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Can I hug? A hug? Oh, thank you. I'll tell y'all like this.
But they say there's no good black men. There's no good men out here. Who told you that? You're looking in the wrong places. You're watching the wrong stuff. You're on the wrong algorithm. That's all he does is cut autistic children's hair. That's all he do. Sometimes it's the father and the mother. Sometimes it's a single mother alone. That's what he does. It's called The Gifted Event. If you guys want to check his YouTube channel out, that's it right there. I mean, he's on TikTok and Instagram. It's called The Gifted Event. If y'all want to go and watch the videos and everything, you guys can watch all the autistic children. He give haircuts and watch how patient he is with them. But there's no good men. There's no good black men out here, right? Okay. You gonna say something, Sahab, or no? Oh, okay.
No. Keep going, priest. Keep going. It's good.
All right, so we done with the children now. Now we got to talk about man and woman, romantic love, relationships between man and woman. We got to talk about how men show love in that, because unfortunately for some of our sisters, spoiler alert, you know what I'm saying? Fair use. To a lot of our sisters, when you think about love, this is what y'all think love looks like from a man when a man loves a woman. This is how it looks. Down on my knees, begging you, please. That's how y'all think love looks from a man. Y'all know y'all do.
I mean, you could play the music. I don't know about getting all animated like that.
But that's how they were
bro.
conditioned to think that that's how, if a man is not doing that, he don't love you. I'm here to tell you, absolutely not. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 29. This is what it says. It says, be not hasty in thy tongue. Watch this. And in thy deeds slack and remiss. A lot of these guys are hasty in their tongue. They will sit here and sing you guys a bunch of love songs. All these artists will sing you a bunch of love songs. Don't you know all these artists that sang these love songs was running through women? They weren't committed to none of them. They were running through women. They were hasty in their tongue. They had all the right words, right? But they really didn't mean it. Once they got what they wanted, they were gone. Their deeds were slack and remiss. But convinced you through their tongue, through their singing. Yeah, you hasty with the tongue. Come on with it.
Yeah.
Down on my knees, begging you, please. They're hasty with the tongue.
He sang the underwears off of them.
Yes. Yes. So if for a lot of our women, I ain't gonna say our sisters in the truth, if your man is not loving you like this, you say he don't love you. So let me help y'all out. Let me help y'all out. It's okay. This is how love really looks. And y'all sisters are not going to like it. So here we have an image. The brother is telling his wife, hey, your homegirl over there in the living room, stop hanging out with her. Hey, sisters, if your husband told you to stop hanging out with a friend of yours, would you do it? Or would you say you're controlling? You're controlling. This right here, him telling her not to hang out with her. Look how she's dressed. Look how she carries herself. That is love. It wasn't that singing stuff we saw before. That is love. You just don't know what a love from a man looks like. It looks like him seeing that you're in the wrong company. But you don't get it, though. I think it's just a man talking. So let me go. Let's read the scriptures. Well, first, let's hear what the sister has to say. Then we'll read the scriptures. Listen.
So I remember I had met this girl, and we had started hanging out heavy, and we became really good. I'll say we were really friendly with one another. I don't want to say friends, but I'll say we were really friendly. So we were hanging out a lot, and then I had a party at my house, and I invited her. And then after that party, my husband said to me, don't bring that woman to this house again. And I was like, why? Did something happen? And he was like, no, nothing happened. Leave that woman where she is. Don't bring her back to the house.
Hey, Salaki priest.
And I was, it was okay.
You're not sharing.
And I never invited her.
Yeah, I am. I didn't.
Maybe something on my end. I don't know.
I didn't come out. Let me hold on and make sure. Yeah, I didn't come out. I was in a. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. You guys in the chat, just let me know. I'm gonna come over to the chat. I'll stop sharing for 1 second, but everybody should have saw that because I wasn't doing anything different. So I'll stop sharing.
Kind of the one.
All right. Were you guys able to see that? Come to the chat. Were you guys able to see that? You guys did not see the video. Okay. I said people are here saying I was not sharing, they couldn't see it. Okay. So we're gonna come on back in there, right? We're gonna come on back. And we're gonna start from where we were. Okay. Y'all said I wasn't sharing, isn't that right? All right. Y'all can see it now?
We can hear it.
Can y'all see it? Can y'all see it? Sahab, do you see it? I'm asking you.
I see it. I'm just waiting for the chat. Yeah, sister said yes, can see now. Yes.
All right now. So I want to know how many of you sisters would do what she did, because she's like, her husband told her something. The world would say it's controlling. Let's see. Let's play the video. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
So I remember I had met this girl, and we had started hanging out heavy, and we became really good. Also, we were really friendly with one another. I don't want to say friends, but I'll say we were really friendly. So we were hanging out a lot, and then I had a party at my house, and I invited her. And then after that party, my husband said to me, don't bring that woman to this house again. And I was like, why? Did something happen? And he was like, no, nothing happened. Leave that woman where she is. Don't bring her back to this house. And all I said was, okay. And I never invited her again. And as a matter of fact, we kind of stopped hanging out on that level. Now, I could have probed a little bit. I could have asked more questions. But I know my husband. And my husband is not controlling. He's protective. And there's a difference. Now, I don't know what happened. I didn't ask questions because you know what? It don't even matter. Something happened. And it made my husband very uncomfortable. And that's all I need to know. So if your husband tell you to not to bring another woman around him again, you listen to him. Period.
Most women would call that controlling. But that's love. This is 1 Peter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. The man had discernment. There was something about that woman. The man said, she can't be around my wife. She's not allowed to be around her. That controlling, but that's what it looked like. And a lot of women that are in the world that are with men that say that to them, deem it, because they're parrots, they listen to what everybody else says, they deem that controlling. That's a man loving you. You want a man to be the men think to you. That's not how you look. This is how love looks. That woman that's in your presence is not worthy of your presence. Stop hanging around her. That's how love really looks. That's what today's class is about. When a man loves, this is what it looks like. It looks like hey, you my wife, there's certain people that don't deserve to be in your presence. The world will tell you that's toxic. It's not toxic. And she's a unicorn because she's not in the truth like you sisters. She's a unicorn, somebody in the world that understands that. She understands she's husband. That's what a man's love looks like. When you say you want a man to protect you, everybody always jumps to the violent part. No, this is protection. He's protecting his wife from a woman who deserves my presence. All praise to the Most High for that. Let's move on.
So I remember.
This is Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22. Let me fix this, and to 24. And it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. If your husband is telling you something, it's probably to protect you. So I want you guys to understand there's a difference between being protective and being possessive. Some people can't understand the difference. You think a man telling you something is him being possessive, when in actuality, it's a man being protective, which is his job.
The man who loves you wants to protect you. He does not want you in harm's way. He wants to make sure you're good, you're safe, all right? He cares about your well-being. The man who is possessive is trying to control you. He is trying to dictate your actions and moves. He is trying to block other people from coming into your life that could pull you in a direction that he doesn't want. And what I mean by that is maybe it's your friends and family who know damn well he's not good for you. So he wants to pull you away from that. He wants to pull you away from influences that will undermine his control.
So there's a difference between being protective and being possessive, and you have to understand the difference. You have to be, as a woman, able to spot the difference. Sometimes a man telling you something is not him being possessive, but it's him being protective, which is his job, which is his nature. Let's listen to her.
Baby, that man is not trying to control you. He's trying to protect you. He's a man who said he cares about you, and he cares about what happens to you. And a man that's about his word, that means more than just somebody else trying to do something to harm you. That means when you try to harm yourself. You know, when you're out there making yourself look bad. And what you were doing qualified as exactly that. Any real man of character would have stepped to you, just like he did. He wasn't disrespectful. He just let you know how he felt about it. Now, you need to make up your mind what you want. Because if what you really want is to be recorded, pissy drunk on the internet, and you want a man who doesn't care, who won't say anything, then you let him know that. But I tell you this.
Right. So you want to be pissy drunk on the internet. You want a man that doesn't say anything. That man don't care about you. You want to walk out the house in an outfit showing all your private parts, and you want a man that doesn't say anything. That you don't want a man to, don't say you want a protector, because a protector is going to tell you not to do those things, not to put yourself in those positions. You have women that will say that they want a protector until the man tries to protect and does his job, because he understands male nature. He understands those things, so he tries to tell you that, and you mask it as control. You mask it as him being possessive when he's being protective, protecting you from others and protecting you from yourself. That's the way a man shows love. But in this day and age, it's deemed as being toxic.
Yeah, till they need the man, right? Because you go outside wearing something, the man tell you that's not appropriate, and you tell him, nah, you can't tell me nothing. I could do what I want. You go down there and some savage say something disrespectful or touch you or do something, then it's like, oh, where's the man at? I need him to come help me. Then you're thrusting that man in a situation which could have been avoided. And yeah, it is his job to protect you. But if you had listened to what he was saying from the get-go, that would have avoided the situation. Y'all saw on the news, priest, not to take you off, but there was a something on the news where 2 brothers died trying to protect their sister, and the sister's ex-boyfriend or something was beating on her. I could guarantee you that that didn't happen outside of a box. I could guarantee you that their sister, had problems with that dude before, and the brothers probably told him, "Hey, get rid of that dude. That dude no good for you." And she probably said, "Nah, she gonna still ride with him." And then God forbid, what happened, and now they gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, sisters, and it's twofold too. But dealing with this topic, yeah, if a man sees something, sisters, y'all gotta, and of course we're not preaching to the church because y'all know this already. But in general, yeah, you gotta listen to what the man is saying because he sees something that you don't see. Go ahead, priest.
Let's move on, y'all. Okay.
David.
All right, let's move on. So we have an example here in the video of a man in the gym. The sister's scared. She said, "I've never done this before. It's the leg press machine." He says, "Don't worry, I'll show you." A man's going to teach you. A man that cares for you is going to correct you and he's going to teach you things. That's how a man shows love. It's not you're looking for the romantic boys to men singing. No, when a man loves you,
Priest, you there? Slack your brothers and sisters. It looked like priest fell out. Give him a minute. He'll get back in. All right, priest, you there?
yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Thing that you heard. I don't know why it kicked me out. I don't know. StreamYard kicked me out.
But then again, this is extended. I don't know. Is there a certain time?
No. That's not that. Just what was the last thing you heard?
We was talking about. You know what? I totally forgot. Brothers and sisters in the chat, let me know what priest was saying. The last thing you heard. He was talking about the leg presses in the gym. He was about to show a video about a brother doing leg presses in the gym.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll share the screen again. It's all good. All right. Technical difficulties happen. It's all good.
You were starting to go in the matrix too, so could have been that connection wise.
Yeah, I get it. All right. All right, y'all. So we're gonna come back to where we were.
Gone.
Huh? All right.
No, go ahead.
So
go ahead.
Hopefully you guys can see the screen. Right. So yep, technical difficulties do happen. We don't worry about them. So we have the example here of the leg press machine. You're teaching the sister something and she's a little scared. She doesn't know something that she's never done before. It's outside of her comfort zone, right? So we read Proverbs 27, verse 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Because somebody that's a friend of yours, and this goes even into relationships. Somebody that loves you is going to correct you and tell you things that may be uncomfortable for you. And that's okay. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Somebody that always tells you you're always right, everything is always right, is not a friend of yours. They don't never tell you the truth. That's not a friend of yours. Be honest with people. Since we're speaking about men, if a man really cares about you, he's going to correct you. Check it out.
Listen, ladies, a man telling you the truth is not bashing. You have to, if you are a feminine woman with a man who cares
We got to go back and watch it again because that word is very popular nowadays. When you tell a woman the truth, she says, "You're bashing me." That's a lie. The Bible teaches, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend." If a man is correcting you, that he's not bad, especially if a man tells you he loves you and he corrects you, he's not bashing you. We don't care what the internet says. That's the man that loves you. A man that don't love you will never tell you you're wrong. He'll just tell you you're right all the time. He don't really give a damn about you at all.
Listen, ladies, a man telling you the truth is not bashing. You have to, if you are a feminine woman with a man who cares about you, whether this is your husband, your brother, your father, criticism is not an attack. Men only correct something they care about. If a man doesn't offer you perspective and direction, he does not care about you. So all of you ladies who think that these men in your inbox calling you beautiful and hey queen, they're only interested in getting what they want from you. There's no investment there. Real men who care about, when I say real men, I'm talking about mature men who have grown into themselves. We invest in what we care about.
Men invest in what they care about. Men correct and criticize what they care about. If you're with somebody that never tells you anything that to make you better, they don't care about you. I just need for you sisters to understand that. That's how love looks in a man. Proverbs 4, verse 11 through 13. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go, and keep her, for she is thy life. Instruction is life. A man that teaches you is a man that loves you. This is what the sister is going to tell you, because we heard a man say it. Let's hear from a woman.
Hey, I saw a post that said, "And a man who teaches you is a man that loves you." And baby, that's a real good word. That's how you know that you got you a real one. You got you a real man. A man that comes into your life and teaches you something. He wants to put you on game. He wants you to learn something from him all the time. He knows a little bit more than you in certain areas. You got you a good man. You got you a real man. A man who's coming into your life and he's not teaching you anything. He's not putting you on anything. He's not putting you on game. He doesn't want you to learn new things. You can do bad all by yourself. But when a man comes in and he like putting you onto things, he wants you to learn these things because he knows that you don't know these things yet. He knows that you're not hip to these things yet. He knows that you never had a man to come in and teach you these things, and he enjoyed teaching you. He doesn't get annoyed because you don't know it. A man who wants to be called on, a man who wants to teach, a man who wants to love, a man who wants to provide, a man who wants to show up. Maybe that's how you know you got you a real man, okay? Okay.
All right. I ain't going to add to that. That speaks for itself. Let's move on. This is Proverbs 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. No man will give you, this is what the caption says, no man will give you more advice. For you sisters, listen to this, you're looking for a husband. No man will give you more advice. In other words, foreseeing the evil than a man who wants you to be his wife. You look at that, he's trying to control me. No, he's telling you something because he wants to protect you. Even before, this goes into not just when he's married to you, y'all already married, but a man that wants to be married to you will protect you even before y'all are married. Let me let a woman tell you, because y'all think it's just the men. Let me let a woman tell you.
No one will give you more advice than the man who wants you to be his wife. When a man is serious about you, there are signs. And one of the biggest signs is the way he advises you. He looks out for you. And a lot of women miss that because they think it's control. It's not. It's guidance. It is him paying attention and looking out for your future. He will tell you things like, babe, don't spend that right now. Save it. Or before you make that move, look at it from this angle, from this direction. Or you should look into this opportunity. Even the small things you'll find annoying, like, babe, what's your sugar intake? Now, depending on how you receive it, it can feel like he's trying to control you, but slow down. Because a lot of times that is not control, that is foresight.
But a lot of people can't see. That's how a man shows love. And nobody is telling the majority of our sisters in the world that's what love looks like. They think love looks like singing that Boys to Men song we saw earlier. That's not what love looks like. It looks like this. He's giving you advice.
That type of love gonna make it in these coming times, priest. That type of love, because if she heeds to the husband, and if the husband is like, hey, you spending too much at Starbucks, hey, you doing too much of this, or hey, let's look into this, let's see how we could focus on this for the benefit of the family or whatever. Those type of women, or that type of man-woman dynamic, that type of relation, that's gonna make it, man. Because when what hit the fan, and the man is like, okay, here's the plan, we going over here, it won't be, well, why are we going over there, and why we don't go? You see what I'm saying? So we rehearse the righteous acts, man. That type of relationship, if we could get it, that would be a beautiful thing, because y'all in unison, lockstep. You ain't got to be perfect every single thing, but at least for the major part, y'all in tune.
Okay. All right. Now let's hear from men. We heard from a woman. Let's hear from a man. It's the same thing. Some people understand this, and some people never understand this, which is why they can never find a good relationship, because they don't understand what love really looks like.
Seen a video on here and it said, no man will give you more advice than a man who want to make you his wife. I agree 100%, because when you messing with a man that want to be with you for the rest of his life, for the most part, he gonna try to teach you everything he know. If he feel like it's something you lacking in, he gonna try to teach you everything you know. He gonna try to give you all the game that somebody has ever given to him, everything he's ever learned or been a sponge to. He gonna try to make sure that you on a straight path, that you know everything going on around you, that you keep bullshit people from around you. That man gonna want the best of you. That man gonna try to give you every piece of knowledge that God has given him to you. And sometimes it could be overwhelming, because you'll feel like, oh, he's coming at me like a dad, or oh, it's not that, he just loves you, and he wants you to know everything he knows. He wants you to learn everything
He said a lot of you women gonna look as though the man is treating you like he's your father. That's what he's supposed to do. That's that. Believe it or not, that's what he's supposed to. That's how it's supposed to feel. When a man really loves you, that's how you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel like as though it's. Remember the earlier videos when the fathers were dealing with their children, the sons and the daughters? A man that loves you, that's how it's going to feel. And watch this. Wait till we do the one with the women. Hey, brothers, when a woman loves you, she acts like your mother. We'll do that when it comes to the women's class, but I'm giving y'all a preview. Yes. Women that really love you, sometimes when she loves you, the way she loves you, it feels like it's your mother talking to you. Y'all not ready for that. Let's continue.
Learn. He wants you to be everything you can be, because he sees you on a higher level than you've ever seen yourself in your life. Like, share, comment, repost, and hit that follow button.
Let's move on. Okay. Let's move on. We still got a little bit more to go. So the sister has a problem. She wants to talk to her man about it. Right? So she's explaining her issue to her man. What's wrong? So the man is thinking about, this is how we can fix this, right? And she's like, no, I don't want you to fix it right now. I just want you to listen. I want you sisters to understand, when a man loves you, his automatic programming is to fix your problem, to be a problem solver. But with women who are empaths, they just sometimes don't want you to come in and fix it right away. They want you just to wallow in their feelings about it and fix it later. But right now they're feeling a way about it, and that's how they are. It doesn't make them less than. But they're feeling a way about it. I'm in my feelings right now. And when they're expressing their feelings to you, they don't want the solution right now. You, as a man, you're thinking about the solution, because that's how we're programmed. That's what I said earlier at the beginning of the class. We're not taught to understand each other. You think your man giving you solutions in a moment is him not caring about how you feel. That's not true. It's just you don't understand the nature of a man, and you don't understand the nature of a woman. Your man trying to solve the problem instead of wallowing with you in your feelings is not him not caring. It's not him not loving. It's him in his natural nature wanting to solve your problem because that's what men do. But what I will advise men, as I'm speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to myself, sometimes you do have to swim in the emotions with your woman. You just have to let her have that. Even though you want to, just fix it. Like, okay, I don't want to sit here and circle around about how you feel about it. I don't want to do that. Sometimes you have to do that as men. Sometimes you do have to do that as a man, and just let her get her feelings out. You just have to do that.
You gotta be that shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, you just gotta do that.
Is
Because
she
that's not
telling?
how we built. But we have to
Yeah.
understand they're not built like us. They have a different. And it doesn't make them less than or wrong. It's not. They're not wrong. We're just different. And so there has to be a meeting ground in between. So let her be in her emotions for a little while you in your mind are calculating. And let's say you're giving her solutions and she tells you, I don't want solutions right now. She's not wrong. Don't get mad at her. Just continue to think about and brainstorm your solutions and just let her get her emotions out and come back to her with it a little bit later with the solution. Because that's how it works. And as I'm talking to yourselves, I'm talking to myself too. But I'm teaching women also that don't think because your man is not catering to your emotions and he's trying to give a solution, he don't care, he don't love you. No, we're different. You have to learn that. If you're going to be in a successful relationship, you must understand that. Him not necessarily catering to your emotions and more or less saying, okay, let's solve it. When you want to actually wallow in your emotions because you're feeling a certain way, is not him not loving you. That's just his nature. And when we learn about each other, we'll be better together. Does everybody understand? All right. That's what he's doing. He wants to fix it. He don't really want to hear what's going on. She's like, no, I just want you to listen. I want you to swim in my emotions with me. So he has to get his bathing trunks on and swim in the emotions for a little while. But at a certain time, he has to take the leadership role and be like, enough emotions, let's fix it. Okay. This is Sirach 37. Start from verse 14. It says, for a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above and in high towers. So I want you sisters to understand something. Do you understand what that verse means? It means just like you, when a situation arises, a man is in his feelings, his thoughts, and everything too. He has his mind is here, it's there, it's over there, just like you. However, he doesn't have the what's the word I want to use? He's not allowed to stay there. You're allowed to stay there as a woman because you're allowed to stay there. He's not allowed to stay there.
You don't have the luxury, right, priest?
The water. He doesn't have the luxury to stay there as the leader, to wallow in his thoughts and his emotions and being here and there. And, oh my God, but no, he don't have that. He got to catch himself. The Bible is teaching this. It's right here. Verse 15. And above all this, pray to the Most High that he will direct our path. So that's the first deal. Pray to the Most High. Okay, my mind is everywhere. Pray to the Most High, and ask the Most High to give me the wisdom on how to deal with this. Watch this. And then it says, let reason go before every enterprise. At the end of the day, his mind is everywhere. It's 7 different places, 7 different watchmen. Now he has to put that aside and deal with reason, logic. Okay, you know what? Let me look at this and deal with it as it's in front of me. Not how I feel, as it's in front of me. That's what leaders do. While the wife is like, no, just stay with me in my emotions. I can't. I'll give you some time on that. Don't think for a moment, I'm not feeling that too. But I'm telling you, I can't stay there with you as a leader. Now I got to pray to the Most High, and now I have to deal with logic. How do we get out of this? Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action. Now I'm going to have a conversation with you. I know you're still in your emotions, but now we're going to have a conversation about how do we fix this. No, I don't want to fix it. I want to still, no, we got to fix it. And he's not wrong for doing that. That's his way of loving. I need for women to understand that. It's right there in the Bible in front of you. He can't appeal to verse 14. He can't listen to those 7 voices in his head that's all over the place. That's not a leader. He must deal with reason. That's logic. Does everybody understand? Let's listen to the sister. Okay, she's kind of low, so let me turn it all the way up and we'll start her over again. Let's go back.
Okay, baby, I'm going to drop a gem for you when it comes to men. If you're in a relationship with a guy and you bring a situation to him or you want to talk to him about something, I want you to understand that men lead with logic, not emotion. This is not to say that men don't have emotions and they're not emotional, but oftentimes they lead.
Verse 14 is the man's emotions. Y'all see that? I'm gonna play it all the way through. I ain't gonna interrupt it, but I want y'all to hear that. Verse 14 is the man's emotions. What she's saying is that men do have that. We do have that. We don't want y'all to think we don't have it. We do have that. We just can't stay there with you.
Okay, baby, I'm gonna drop a gem for you when it comes to men. If you're in a relationship with a guy and you bring a situation to him or you want to talk to him about something, I want you to understand that men lead with logic, not emotion. This is not to say that men don't have emotions and they're not emotional, but oftentimes they lead with logic. They're trying to solve a problem, and it's very black and white. There's no gray area. They're trying to solve a problem. Now, in the same vein, if they've ever come back and then told you how they felt, that's them then processing the emotion after the logic. But we, on the other hand, often lead with emotion and then logic, which is why oftentimes we're the one finding ourselves needing to go back and apologize, if y'all even know what that word means, because we may have reacted in a way that didn't fit the situation. That's called emotion regulation. But nonetheless, men lead with logic, then emotion. Women lead with emotion and then logic. And that's what get us in trouble sometimes.
So the man will sit there with his emotions for a short amount of time, listening to those 7 watchmen inside of his head, and then he's gonna default automatically to logic. Okay, let's reason and figure out how we deal with this, right? And then once you're past the problem, your husband will come back to you and say, "This is how I felt in the situation." You wonder, "Well, I didn't know that then," because that's not how leaders do. After you get past the problem, then he's gonna let you know, "I was feeling just like you. I was worried just like you. I didn't know how this was going to end just like you, but I couldn't let you see that. I couldn't stay there with you." So you thinking he's not loving you, he's not understanding you. No, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, because that's what love looks like. You don't allow your relationship, your wife, your children, whatever the situation is, you don't allow them to stay in that situation. You got to be the leader and lead them out of it. So you can't appeal to your emotions. You cannot appeal to the 7 watchmen that's in your head telling you, "Hey, brother, this is messed up. Ain't this messed up? This is messed up, brother. Why are you in this?" You can't deal with that. No. You have to figure out how to get out of it. Let's go to the next one.
For the man who loves through logic, I see you. The way you translate affection into action, how you solve problems instead of reciting poems. You love by building stability. You love by remembering the small details no one names. You love in ways that look like lists but feel like loyalty. They may call you calculated, but I call you careful. Every plan you make is a promise in motion. Every task completed is a quiet, "I care." You don't need to perform passion. You practice it. Your order is your offering. Your reason is your romance. And even though emotions don't spill easily, they still live loudly. I read them in your consistency, in your commitment to clarity.
So a man's emotions is in his consistency, but people don't recognize that. Let's continue.
For the man who loves through logic, never apologize for precision. Your method is mercy to the world's chaos. Your presence is the plan that works. May you be met by a woman who understands that calculation isn't cold. It's curated care. That your structure is how you say, "I'll never let you fall."
So we're just going to let that sizzle in your spirit. I don't have to add to that.
That was profound. That was super profound, man. That was a good one right there. Go ahead, Priest.
Yeah. There's another way a man loves. So we all know the proverbial way it goes, right? You're walking on the street. The man stays on the outside in case a car comes off the sidewalk, onto the sidewalk, right? He'll be hurt first. But she wants to know, why can't I walk on that side? He says, I want to keep you safe. That's his way of saying, I love you. You looking for something romance, you looking for him to sing the Boys to Men or the Jodeci song. That's not how love looks. You just don't recognize it. Love is not an action. Love is an action, not only words. 1 John 3:18, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deeds. That's an action word, and in truth. Listen,
not every man.
The silent ways men show love. You're looking for the romantic ways. You're looking for him to sing you an R&B ballad. But there are silent ways a man shows love. And most people don't recognize it because they don't understand, man. We're taught not to understand each other.
Man is going to look you in the eyes and say, I love you. Not every man is going to write a long text or pour his heart out over the phone. But that doesn't mean he doesn't feel it just as deeply. Some men love in silence, in a way that he checks to make sure that you got home safe, in the way that he pulls you to the safer side of the street without thinking. It's in the way that he listens to the things that you say in passing, then surprise you with them months later. Love for some men is consistency. It's the way he makes sure that your tires have enough air in them before you go for a long drive. It's waking up earlier than you so there's gas in the car before you even notice. It's how he pays attention to the things that bring you peace and quietly does more of them without being asked. Some men show love through protection, not just physically, but emotionally. A man who loves you will guard your name when you're not even in the room. He will defend your reputation even when you'll never even know about it. He'll handle things without needing credit because for him, love is making sure that you're good without ever making you feel like you owe him for it. So before you say that he doesn't love you because he doesn't say it often enough, ask yourself, does he show it? Because love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's effortless. Sometimes it's in the things he does when he thinks you're not paying attention. And that's love too.
And that's something that people are not trained to recognize. Quiet love, meaning consistency in actions. Not the singing of the songs. No, it's none of that. Let's move on.
Listen.
Let's hear from a sister because, we heard it from a man. Let's hear from a sister.
So after 31 years of being married, something that I learned is that love sometimes is loud, but sometimes love is quiet. Let's get into it. So a lot of women run around thinking they're not sure about whether or not their husband loves them because maybe he isn't verbally expressing that a lot. But hear me out. A man's love shows in a lot of different ways. It can be shown verbally, but most importantly, it's shown in his actions. A man shows deep love by doing these things. He makes plans for you. He makes decisions with you. He considers you before he puts anything in your life into action. And he ain't moving around like he's single. He's moving around making it known, I am in deep love with my wife. And he prioritizes peace over ego. Instead of getting into it with you and arguing with you, he steps back, allows the Holy Spirit to guide his walk and to guide his talk because peace is more important to him than ego. And then he protects you more than he stands in pride. He doesn't stonewall you. He doesn't ignore you. You don't feel a sense of this man is trying to punish me. Because even on the bad days, he doesn't disappear and leave you hanging, leave you guessing. He's present always, even when it's tough. If that man is emotionally stable, he's silently showing you love. It's not a loud way to show you that he loves you, but he's sacrificing for you without keeping score. And he's not trying to tally up things to throw back in your face. He's making sure that your needs are covered and he's providing for you. That's deep love. So don't miss the deep love in your marriage. Just because it's silent, just because it's quiet, it's still safe and it's still steady. And that is what covenant does.
And a lot of people miss these small gestures because they don't recognize them because they're not taught to recognize them. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. It says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal, meaning you're just loud for nothing if you don't have charity. But that word charity, as you guys can see on the screen, is the Greek word agape, right? As we come to the next slide, agape is another way of saying love. So charity, sometimes the translators use the word charity, but more often than not, they choose love. So these are signs that somebody loves you. And many times they're missed. 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 8. Charity, which is love, you can substitute the word charity for love. So let's do that. Love suffereth long and is kind. Love envieth not. Love vaunteth not itself and is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, which means that a lot of times if somebody loves you, will sacrifice themselves for you. They want better things for you than they want for themselves. Is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. You don't hate your spouse, your partner, your children. You don't hate that. That's what love looks like. It's not what people think it is. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in truth. Beareth all things. Sometimes you have to deal with things. Believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Love never faileth. You have the divorce rates in the Black community that's higher than any other community because we don't love each other really. Not genuinely. We say the vows, but we don't really mean it. Meaning that we say, hey, through sickness and health, richer or poorer, right? Until richer or poorer happens, until sickness happens. Then you don't want to hang in there with that person, right? The Bible says real love that doesn't fail. Y'all together when y'all rich, you together when you're broke. If she's sick, you got her back and you're going to nurse her to health. If he's sick, you're going to do the same. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. The only thing that's certain is charity or love. If it's genuine, that's the idea. Let's talk about something else that shows up as love. Love is sacrifice. So you guys are looking at the image, right? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You guys see it's 3 o'clock in the morning. The wife is asleep. The children are asleep. The man is up. He got his uniform on. He's half asleep. He's practically out of it. This is Priest Danielle every day. You got to go and you got to make a sacrifice and go and get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to work and sacrifice yourself so they don't have to. That's what love looks like. That's what love looks like. You do things that are uncomfortable. You don't feel like doing. You don't want to do. Your body is saying, why are you doing this? And you get up and you do it anyway. That's what a man's love looks like. Listen.
He loves the hell out of you. He provides the covering for you. Many of the issues that you don't have to worry about because of that man. Because he's taking care of it on the back end. He ain't even telling you everything he's doing for you. He's just getting it done. The car that you drive in, he making sure that fixed and running every day. Your kids, he making sure that a lot of times kids ain't even kids. He get into a relationship. He makes sure that kid is getting tutelage. That kid is getting guidance. That kid got school clothes, things of that nature. We be on hard times and we ain't living good or whatever. The money is stringent or whatever, but we need this money, man. The kid got a field trip. He need $100. You man ain't have $100 in your account. That man gonna go out there and hustle to get that $100. But he gotta go.
Love for a man looks like sacrifice, right? And we were taught that by the Apostle Paul because that's what Christ did for Israel. Husbands, love your wife, even as Christ, Yahushua, also loved the church and gave himself for it. So a man's love looks like sacrifice. It looks like him doing things that he don't want to do. If you weren't in the picture, he wouldn't do. If you were not in the picture, he wouldn't do. He's only doing it because you're in the picture. That's what love looks like. Not words. Not an R&B ballad. Not at all. Let's go to the next one. This sister lost her husband. I ain't going to play the whole video because it's long. She lost her husband, and then she realized everything that he was doing was a sacrifice for her. And she realized it. Listen.
When a man loves you, you know what he's going to do? He's going to sacrifice for you. Now, I was listening to a video today, and it really touched my heart because it reminded me of me and my late husband. Mike sacrificed for me. I didn't have to push him. I didn't have to,
I didn't have to do anything. He wanted to do.
He wanted to do it for her. She didn't have to do anything for him. He wanted to do it because that's what love looks like. She understood and recognizes that now. You were looking for the words, I love you. A nigga that don't love you could tell you he love you because he wants something. But love look like something. Love look from a man looks like something, and that's what we've been examining for the last 3 hours. I'm kind of speeding up a little bit because there's a part I want to get to. Let's listen to this brother right here.
There's certain parts of the happiness you're going to have to give up to make sure the family good. That's part of our journey as men. And you start to realize that, okay, that feeling, that emptiness, that hurt that I had, that's nothing, because I know that I can deal with it. I can take that pain. If that means my son gonna be straight, or my daughter gonna be happy, or my wife good, I'll take that for them. And
That's what the scripture is saying. That's what Christ did. I'll take that crucifixion if my people is good. The Bible is teaching that that's the spirit of a man. That's how a man shows love. You're looking for him to come and sing you a romantic ballad. He doesn't buy me flowers enough. That's not how love looks. I'm not saying a man shouldn't buy his wife flowers. You should. Of course, there should be those gestures that are physical gestures for you to buy her flowers, take her on dates. Of course. But that don't mean he love you. This is what it means he loves you. When he's not good, but he's good because y'all good. That's what you don't understand.
My son gonna be straight, or my daughter gonna be happy, or my wife good. I'll take that for them. And a lot of men don't get to that point as fast as I guess the world wants us to.
Do you feel like that's going to have an effect on you where it's like you're the only person in the household that's suffering, that's not getting outlet or somebody to lean on?
Hey man, that's why your dad cry when you get grown and you tell him you love him. That's why granddaddy sit there and he don't know what to say.
Did y'all hear that? When you as a man, you know what I'm saying, you as a father, you raise your son, and your son gets older, he comes, he tells you he loves you, he appreciates you, he understands you. That's why men, at that point, they break down because they understood. Before that, nobody understood. Nobody told you that. Nobody appreciated what you did. Nobody understood the sacrifice you made. You was okay with being the only one in the house that wasn't happy, that wasn't getting what you wanted. You okay with that for everybody else. So when somebody finally recognizes that as a man, you break down because you've been carrying that burden for so long. That's what love looks like.
It's that quiet sacrifice and appreciation.
That's why we have this conversation. We ain't going to get into it right now because I kind of want to do an experiment for the last 10 minutes. That's why there's this conversation about the divorce, the divorce rate, and 70% of divorces are initiated by women. 70% of the divorces are initiated by women, but people don't understand why that is, because it's not because the man is any more happier. Is that the men accept their role of being unhappy a lot of times in situations, and they accept that because they understand that that's what it is. When the woman is unhappy, she's out of there. She's out of there. A man will stay in a situation he's unhappy. He'll stay there because he made a commitment and a duty to do so. And that's how a man shows love. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to end the class by this. We're going to do an experiment. Now, I want to say this. For those of y'all that are still here, we're going to do an experiment right now. You guys see the video. I tried this experiment on my job yesterday. And when I say it was hot, the job was hot yesterday, the job was hot. Because a lot of dudes are emotional, man. They don't know what's going on. A lot of dudes are emotional. I posed this question. I said I was going to pose it in class, but I tested it at my job yesterday. This is not a real question 100%, but it can happen. As a man, this is what we're dealing with, a man, how a man shows love. Look at the image. You can only save one. It's either you save your child or you save your wife. Which one is it? When I tell y'all, I asked this question at work yesterday and it got hot. It got hot. I want y'all to understand, listen to what I'm saying. There should be no toxicity. Nobody should be in their feelings. We're just having a conversation. We're teaching the class. There is no right or wrong answers. Say it again. There's no right or wrong answers. But if you were a man and you were in this situation, it was some type of emergency, some type of whatever, and you only could save either your wife or your child, who would you save? Remember, we're talking about how a man shows love. Before I show y'all the answers, I just want y'all to think in your mind, what do you think the men said? Because men are always vilified. Oh, men are terrible. Ain't no good men. What do you guys think the men said? I'm going to show you what the men said. Because when they say that men ain't no good and men don't show love, men really show, I'm going to say this, and sisters, some of y'all going to be offended. I don't care. Men love genuinely more than women do. And we're going to see in this experiment, you're going to see this. Between this lesson and the one I do for the women, you're going to see a man's love is more genuine than anything. Because he's never thinking about himself. I'm giving y'all a clue. When the women were asked the same question, because we asked the women the same question, they were thinking about themselves. The men are always selfless in the situation all the time. I want y'all to know that. Okay. First, this is from the It's Given podcast. This lady here, she asked her father that question. And I want you to listen to the answer that the father gives. And again, so nobody gets emotional, there's no right or wrong answers. Your answer may be different than her father's. That's okay. I'm just showing y'all something. Listen.
You can only save one. Your wife and your child, the other will die. Who are you saving?
I'm saving my wife for sure.
So if it was me.
He didn't even hesitate. He said he's saving his wife. If he has to choose between saving his child and saving his wife, he's saving his wife first. Do y'all think that's the same answer the women gave? Let's go back. Let's go back. But men ain't shit. Men don't love. Men don't know how to love. Listen.
You can only save one. Your wife and your child, the other will die. Who are you saving?
I'm saving my wife for sure.
So if it was me, you gonna let me die?
I would hope maybe I can come back and look for you, but I'm saving my wife for sure.
Okay, break it down, please. Because everybody keeps saying to me, Sarah, you ain't never had kids, so you don't know the real answer. I said my husband. Yeah. Why do you say mom?
The fact of the matter is, like, I can have more kids, thankfully, but I can never have a queen and another wife, another life partner, and the woman I love, like your mom. I can never have that because there's something special about that one that you truly love, and you will never have that in another person. So she becomes that diamond in the rough, and that's my life partner. You know, that's who John has given me. Mm-hmm. I honor that. And I know that, she would be my first priority. And I would try to save the kid too, but she would be my first priority. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, y'all are told that there's no good men out here. But the man understands, the scriptures tell you leave your mother and father and cleave to your wife. Why do you guys think he answered the way he answered? I'm going to tell you, because the children at a certain age, they're going to grow up and leave the house. They ain't going to mess with you no way. Once they grow up, they're going to get to a certain age. They're going to leave the house, find their partner, and you'll be lucky when you get a phone call. So he said, I'm going to choose my wife because that's the person that's going to stick with me after they're gone. That's the way men love. You said he didn't buy me flowers. You don't understand how you don't get it. You don't get it because you're not taught to get it. Let's go to the next one.
You can only.
Because you think that was just him. And this is not an easy question. I'm not a big fan of Cam Newton. Nevertheless, I want you to understand this is the dilemma of a man. Listen to Cam Newton.
You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean with your wife and one child, very young. It's the only child you have. They both get lodged into the water. They are knocked out. You can only save one. The other will die. Who are you saving?
Who can swim?
They're knocked out. Neither. Neither can swim. You can only choose one. The other will die.
I'm going to die saving them both.
If that's not in it.
So real quick, I want to say this, right? That was the answer. Wait, hold up. I want to go back a little bit. I'm going to play from the beginning. That was the dilemma at my job. Everybody wanted to be like, save them both. And I was putting pressure. No, you got to choose. Oh, it's not a good question. It's not logical. I don't care. You got to choose. I'm testing you as a man. You got to choose. So at first, Cam was like, I'll save them both. That's not the answer. You only can save one.
You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean with your wife and one child, very young, the only child you have. They both get lodged into the water. They are knocked out. You can only save one. The other will die. Who are you saving?
Who can swim?
They're knocked out. Neither.
Hmm?
Neither can swim. You can only choose one. The other will die.
I'm gonna die saving them both.
If that's not an answer.
It's a tough question. You're just gonna sit there for a minute. Just watch his face. It's a tough question as a man. Because you do love your children, of course. But listen to the answer.
My heart says I'll save my children. My mind tells me that I should save my lady.
Y'all hear that? That's 2 for 2. Both times the men said, I'm saving my wife first. Let's go to the next one. But men don't love genuinely. Men don't love. Here's Waka Flocka. He was ready for this question. Listen.
Scenario. You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean with your wife and child, and it's still a young child. Both of them get lodged into the water.
My wife.
You're going to save your wife?
Yeah.
Why?
It's my wife.
Who told y'all that men don't love genuinely? Because he ain't buying you flowers. He don't take you on dates. He don't take you on vacations. Do y'all see? Am I the only person seeing this?
Scenario. You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean with your wife and child, and it's still a young child. Both of them get lodged into the water.
My wife.
You're going to save your wife?
Yeah.
Why?
It's my wife.
Period. That's it.
I love my wife before I love my child. How the f do I choose my child over something or someone that created you? Come on, respectfully, I gotta make another one. Cause I cannot make the same woman I love. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Like you can't play with love. Like real talk. And this ain't for people that's inspiring to be loved or living in just one apartment with each other. Conversation. Nah, it's real. So I know that kid. We wasn't meant for you.
I feel the same way.
Right.
So the next time y'all hear in the world that men don't love genuinely and men this and men that, I need for y'all to send the link to this class so y'all can see. Because everybody's seeing the same thing. Everybody's seeing the same thing. It's not the romantic R&B ballad singing love, but it's that this is real love. Like situation arise, and the man shows you through his actions what it is. Now, these fellas had a different answer. I don't want anybody to think, because I told y'all there's no right or wrong answers. This fella had a different answer, and that's okay too. There's no right or wrong answers. And I'm going to tell you what was in the comment section after I let him say his answer.
I was with Steven, Charles Steven. He said if a house was burning and my kid and my wife was in the house, 2 separate rooms, I'm going to save my wife first.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, not me.
I love my wife. I'm going to get my daughter first.
Why though? Because you can't get that woman back. You can have a kid back though.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Have a kid back?
Yeah.
Get another woman back. Do me a favor, get out of here. Get out of here. What do you mean I can get a kid?
No, but you can't have that same. You can't have that same woman.
Listen,
yeah, but that's not.
Now I want you guys. I'm gonna stop it right there. I want you guys to see that they're saying, "I'll just get another woman." Right? In the comment section, listen to me. In the comment section, all the women were saying, "If you choose the child, right? If you save me and let your child die, I'm leaving you." So it's no right or wrong answer. There's not. That's why I showed y'all both. Because in the comments of this video, all the guys y'all saw before, they said they would choose their wife. In the comments of this video, the men that would choose the men was being told they should choose the children, because the women were saying, if you choose me and let our child die, I'm leaving you. That's the dilemma of being a man.
There is no right answer, man,
There's no
because
right
y'all gotta live with the fact that y'all let the child die. You know what I mean? And that lives inside the woman too. She might leave, she might not, but at the same time, like what the other brothers are saying, yes, you can make another child, right? Because the child comes from the woman. So it's no right or wrong answer. I see it on both sides. I see where brothers say they'll save their son or their daughter because they could go get another woman, but they can't get that child back. And on the flip side, no, you can't get another woman who created that child. So there is no right or wrong answer. But what priest is saying, the love, because the father will have to make a choice, and that choice is rooted out of love, man. And it ain't easy. It's not easy. So I understand both sides.
Let's move on, because now I'm going to take it out of the we're taking it out of the hypothetical. I'm going to bring it into reality, because the argument at my job was, well, this is not real. It's just a hypothetical question. So there was guys that didn't want to answer. This happens every day, guys. This happens every day. The delivery room decision. The doctor comes to you. This happens every day. As a matter of fact, I work with somebody this happened to. The doctor comes to you. Your wife is delivering your child, and there's complications in the delivery, and the doctor tells you got to choose one. This happens every day. The woman is under anesthesia. There's complications with the delivery. The doctor says if the baby is delivered, the wife is going to die. If the baby,
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. This one's a little different, but go ahead.
Yes. I'm going to tell y'all my answer. I'm going to give y'all my answer. I'm going to let Elder Zab tell his answer. Then I'm going to play the video. If the baby is born, the wife is going to die. If you want to save your wife's life, the baby is going to die. Right? How does a man show his love in this? People think it's easy to be a man. It's easy to be. No, it's not. Because a man loves both. But I'm going to tell you my answer. If I were in that situation in the delivery room, I'm going to save my wife. Why? Because I don't yet have a bond with that baby. It wasn't born yet. I don't know it. I haven't had a bond. Yes, that's my child. Yes, we together created the child. I don't have a bond with that child. I've been with this woman for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, 20 years, whatever the situation is. We've been together. We have a bond. I don't have a bond with that child. Right? So I'm not going to allow the person who I have a bond with, a relationship with, I'm not going to allow something to happen to her, so I'm going to choose her. Everybody understand? I don't know, Zahab, if you had a different answer than that. And there's no right or wrong answers. What would your decision be, Zahab?
It depends. A lot of external factors too. Like, is this the only child between me and the woman? You know what I'm saying? Is it like, okay, she's the mother of my other children, but there's complications because it's the last child? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I could be wrong. Yeah, I could, I'm leaning towards saving the child. I've seen something like this happen before. And the child didn't do anything but just being conceived. You know what I mean? Yes, you had a life with the wife, and you can't get her back. I get it. I don't know, man.
You don't supposed to know. It's a rough answer, and that's the dilemma of being a man and a man showing love, because he loves both.
In this situation, if she was gonna die, I would say let the child live, man. Let the child live. She had a life to live. You and her had a life. She lived her life. The unborn child has not. Yes, you're right, priest. You don't know what kind of bond he could be, or she could be a little bastard growing up, whatever. But at the end of the day, if the doctor's right there, like, yo, either the baby coming out or the wife, it's like, damn.
And this happens every day. This happens all the time. A coworker of mine, this happened. May she rest in peace. This happened to her. She was coworker. I went to a funeral, not my job I currently work at, but years ago, maybe like 10, 15 years ago. Coworker of mine, very nice lady. She was pregnant, and she went into the delivery room, and she died in childbirth, giving birth to the son. The husband had to make a decision. and he chose a child. I'm saying he chose a child.
I would tend to choose the child because again, I've seen something like that happen. Now I know people be, how could you and da, but it's a decision that the man has to live with. You see what I'm saying? I will choose the child because again, like I said, the mother, she had a life, she lived a life. That don't mean I don't love her any less, but you're putting that burden on me. And mind you, I have to raise the child too. So it's tough, but I say what y'all want. I would choose the child, and it's different. My answer is different from what Priest saying, but let's see what the people say.
I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't want to raise a child by myself, so I wouldn't. And there's no right or wrong answers, and it just goes to show you that this thing about love and making choices and everything is not easy. It's not as cookie cutter as people make it to be, whether it's the man or the woman. And trust me, we're talking about the man now. You do know that the women will ask this question too. And when I do the women's class, I want y'all to see their answers. And watch this. Their answers are not going to be what y'all think they're going to be. Because everybody's already saying, I'm going to choose a child. You think the women are going to say, you'd be surprised. Just wait. The answer is not what you think it's going to be.
My brother St. P says it depends. Am I on her life insurance policy? That's crazy, bro. But I hear you.
No follow, y'all. Come on, man.
Nah, it's no follow. I'm just saying.
All right.
But if you want the people's reaction in the chat, Priest,
I do know. But
ahead,
money should not be, insurance policy should not be included. It's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. That should not factor into your decision. It should be because when you love the child, you love the wife. No insurance, none else should even factor into that decision in the moment.
My brother, while the people are putting it in the chat, my brother was with a woman, my physical brother, my flesh brother, was with a woman, and the baby died, and she moved on, and he can't move on. He's still reaching out to her about the the memorial of the child. He's not in the truth. Let me start by saying, St. P, I know you're joking, brother. I know you're joking. He still can't get over the unborn child. I'm like, yo, bro, you got to move on. This is me as my brother talking to my brother. Like, you got to move on because she moved on. You see what I'm saying?
I get you. Everybody born differently.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's wired and built differently. And I'm like, yo, bro, she moved on. She had a child with somebody else. She's gone. You know what I'm saying? But he's still thinking that bond. But I'm like, yo, the Most High took the child. It wasn't meant to be. So it's tough. Everybody's wired differently,
Yep.
But anyway.
All right, let's move on. Let's play this video real quick because that's kind of what they're talking about real quick. I probably won't play the whole thing, but let's just play a little bit of the video.
Your wife is in labor. Oof, but something went wrong with the pregnancy. You could only pick one to live. Who are you picking?
God dang it, man. You in this life and death situation,
Yeah, I like this one.
Life and death, though?
I like life and death.
I don't like this one. That's tough.
You got to pick your little mammy or your little homie.
Leave my family out of these questions, though.
Decisions.
Wow. First off, these are hypotheticals, okay? I'd have to keep the wife.
Okay.
And that's fine.
I'd have to keep the wife.
And there's nothing wrong with what he said or what Zahab said. It's not it's you pray to the Most High, you're never in a situation. That's it. And I pray I'm never in a situation because it's not, as a man, it's you can clearly see that it's a struggle.
I'm not mad at that answer.
I'd have to.
I'm not mad at that answer at all.
You know what's crazy is that we're gonna keep it light, but I do know people that have been in that situation.
Me too.
We can create.
Me too. And I went to a funeral of a woman that the husband chose a child. In my last job, he chose the child, and she was a sweet lady. When I say she was a sweetheart, man. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to make this all sad. Spouse before children, though. That's what this sister says. Listen.
If that woman is not in a happy marriage, I would not be surprised, because if you want a kingdom marriage, your spouse comes before your children. It just is what it is. If people can get as mad as they want, they can get as upset as they want. We are one. And because you are one, to not do right unto him is to not do right unto yourself. And
so when situations are going down with your children, we're not talking about the delivery room no more. We're talking about the child is born. You and your wife, you and your husband need to have a united front, and you always choose your wife or your husband over your children when situations go down. You don't show any cracks, any division, because the child will capitalize on that, is what she's saying. This is the book of Titus, chapter 2, verses 6 through 7. It says, young men, Likewise, exhort to be sober-minded. So that's our job as older brothers, as leaders, as fathers, whether physical fathers, or spiritual fathers, or coaches, or whatever. You exhort the young men to be sober-minded. Verse 7, in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works. You got to be the example as a man. Who's bringing people to the stage? What's going on?
Who's
here?
that? What's going on?
Somebody brought somebody to the stage on.
Is that Clubhouse? That's Clubhouse.
Somebody brought somebody to the stage on Clubhouse. That's what happened. Somebody on the stage had to bring that person up for that to happen. I always bring to the stage who should be here. Y'all shouldn't be bringing nobody else up. Anyway, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity. That's the job of the men. All right. So we're gonna stop there for now, guys. I kind of want to touch on something else really quickly. I want to touch on something else. If today's class was edifying to you guys put 1 in the chat. If it wasn't, put 2. That's fine. I don't care. If it wasn't edifying, that's fine. That's your opinion. And then we're going to transition into something else.
Dang, Sister Rose.
That's very important. And I don't want the class to be too much longer. So
God. I hear you, Sister Rose. I hear you, Sister Rose. You know, some of these men are married to dragons, so they would pick the children. That could be it too, sister. I won't lie.
That's
that
true.
could be
I
it.
wouldn't lie on that at all. 100%.
But at the same time, don't put it past the fact that a man love his wife, man, but that don't mean a sacrifice. Put the shoe on the other foot. A woman could love her husband too, and if it became between her and the children, and she chose the children so that the posterity life could move on. I mean, what were we gonna say? She was married to a abusive husband. That's why sometimes people just make tough decisions. But I hear you though, sis. It could go either way.
All right. So let's move on so we can bring the class to an end. I'm gonna share my screen in a different way. I want to kind of transition. So we offer that now, y'all. All praise to the Most High for that class. I'm glad everybody understood that. Let's move on. Right. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear this. I'm sure if you guys can't hear it, somebody will let me know. I'm on a YouTube page called Full Spectrum Survival. You guys can come and check them out. I want you guys to understand that while we are distracted by all these gender wars and men not understanding women, women not understanding men, Cardi B, Stephon Diggs, the woman that was living in Stephon Diggs' house, Meg Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson, all this other BS that we're being distracted by, I want you guys to understand that lockdowns are already on the table in Europe, which means eventually they're going to come to here. The same COVID lockdowns that we had a couple of years ago that we all hated are on the table in Europe again right now. That's being discussed. That's being pushed, which means it's going to come here at some point, and we need to be aware of it. We need to be watching it. As Elder Saab said at the beginning of the class, we have to be aware of geopolitics and watch it, because what's going on over there will eventually come here, and many of us are not prepared. We're not even thinking about it because we're distracted. We're going to start this video hopefully you guys can hear it at 8 minutes and 31 seconds. If the video cannot be heard, Zahab, let me know, because I'm kind of sharing it in a different way than I did my PowerPoint. So let me know. Let's play the video.
News outlet. This is Press TV. A little bit more of that footage coming out from international sources. Here we have a 57-character EAM coming out.
3, 1, Hotel, Romeo, 7, Juliet, Yankee, Accurate, Charlie, 6, GB, Delta.
Much love in return, BC. All right, this is a video. This is an image you never want to see. These guys are geared up. There's so much bad behavior happening around what they're saying. When I say they're already doing the lockdowns, I'm going to tell you exactly what they're doing. They've already contact traced in areas like Spain, and they've told everyone that is associated, you must, under law enforcement, remain inside of your house until June. The medics will come to you. The doctors will come to you. I don't know if in those countries they pay for the people's bills. I'm not sure if they'll step in this type of case where they're court ordered basically to self-quarantine and self-isolate. But I see a lot of people that are, and this happened at a recent national security meeting. One of the individuals at that national security meeting said, well, if you wanted to make a real plague that would spread across the earth, you do it with hantavirus.
No, we're not going to go and we're not going to play the whole video. You guys can come. You see the title of the video. You guys can come and watch the video yourself. They're already experimenting and having conversations about lockdowns and quarantines in Spain all over again since COVID, and hantavirus is being used as a scapegoat. Am I saying that that's going to come here? It's going to be like COVID. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we need to be aware that these things are going on, because at some point these things are going to happen. The Bible says there will be famines, shortages of food. There will be pestilences, which are diseases. The Bible says that's what's going to happen. And famines don't necessarily mean that the ground is parched and nothing is growing. The famine can come through the gas prices. Do you guys see what gas is costing? I know what gas is costing me, right? So you go to the store, there's less and less food in the store, or food is more and more expensive, because guess what? Now they upcharge the stores to sell the food because the gas is so expensive. So we're living in this right now. These things are happening. We need to be aware of this and not getting distracted with bullshit, is what I'm saying. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to share my screen again to the next thing, right? Because the Bible says where there's no vision, the people fail. So the leadership of Lions of Israel always tries to be, I'm going to share my entire screen. The leadership of Lions of Israel always tries to be, and we share this with all of our fellow camps, everybody that we love. We share this with all you guys. We try to be proactive. So here is our camp website. It's called thelionsofisrael.com. Everybody sees that? Thelionsofisrael.com, right? So what we're telling everybody to do, whether you're in the camp or not, come to our website. Go to the tab that says books, right? And you scroll all the way down. We have a lot of books here that we use for teaching, but the very last one is something called disaster preparations, meaning to be prepared for what's getting ready to happen, what we already know is going to happen. So you would click on this PDF, right? Which I already did, so I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to come to the next tab. When you click on this PDF on the website, it opens up this PDF, which you can download. That's what that arrow is. You can download this. You can have this in your possession. This is a sustaining yourself in a chaotic future. Shout out to Sister Malika of Lions of Israel. She's the one that created this. And it is literally a PDF of how to prepare yourself, things you should have in your house, things you should individually have in your houses, and things as a camp, as a body. If you're LOI Detroit, if you're LOI Colorado, if you're LOI New Jersey, Pennsylvania, whatever, these are things we should be doing together. Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together. These are things we should be doing together as a unit, because everybody doesn't have money, so you can't afford to buy everything on this list. But you can, as a community, buy these things and have them in common, right? Does the Bible not teach us in the book of Acts? I believe it's Acts chapter 6, where the Israelites had things in common that they shared. These things can be done. So I need everybody to be more aware of what's going on. They're talking about lockdowns, this, that, and the third. It's already happening in Europe, other places. Even if hantavirus is not it, we know it's coming. So what does leadership do? Leadership has vision. So we talk about and ask the people to create something like this. I originally created something like this myself. Then my wife, Sister Malika, took it and she took it to the next level and created this. And we're giving it away on our website. You come to the website, lionsofisrael.com. Click the tab that says books. You come and you download this, right? It's going to bring you here, and you download this to your computer, your phone, whatever, and you look at it and you try to do and follow step by step as much as you can do on an individual level. And what you cannot do on an individual level, you find other people that can meet whatever slides you can't meet, you can't afford, it's too much, it's too expensive. You find somebody else that can do this 57 slides here. Let's say you can do 23. You do 23 and you have somebody else do the other 24. Or you do 15, you have somebody else do 15, and you have somebody else do the last 17, right? That's having things in common, just like it's written in the book of Acts. And this is what we're teaching the people to do. Hopefully everybody understands. I'm not going to beat it like a dead horse, so I'm going to stop. All right, this is what we're offering. This is what leadership does. It doesn't look like what y'all think it looks like. It looks like us trying to prepare everybody for what's going on. Every individual household should have a plan. As brothers and sisters coming together as a unit, camp, y'all should have a plan whether you're in a camp or not. And then as a body, ourselves, Lines of Israel, we should have a plan, and we share our plan with other camps as well. Because I'm going to be honest, and this might sound like a shot, but it's not. But other camps are not telling y'all to do this, and they don't have that for y'all. So y'all can use ours, because we're not about our camp. We're about our nation, first and foremost. So y'all can use ours, or you could tell your leaders to take ours and make one for y'all camp. It doesn't matter. We're not one of those camps that keeps things to ourselves. It's all about us. It's not that. So hopefully everybody's following along. Everybody understands. That's it for me. We've been going for 3 hours and 20 minutes. This is the longest class I've ever done on the Sabbath. I hope y'all definitely were edified by the class. Elder Zab, do you have anything? Because I'm about to get out of here.
No, but I do want to say, brothers and sisters, stay in touch with us. You know what I mean? Stay in touch with one another. Some of the things that's on the list, you could get now. You don't have to wait for anything to happen. You could get some of them things now. The things that you can do it, right? But, you know, like Pri said, the things that are more expensive or you need help with, then that's where you get together and fellowship with other people. So I do want to say this, dealing with that, you see all these people used to make fun and call camps and cults and this, that. All you out there, you not in the camp and you bashing and you want to be an individualite, it ain't gonna work out good for you. You know why? Because at least you in a congregation, I could call on priests. If I can't get priests, I can reach out to Captain Zakaria. I can't reach out to Captain Zakaria. I can reach out Priest Palaya, Captain Arawa, Sergeant Micah Allah. Hey, if none of those work, well, I'm going to Detroit then. You know what I'm saying? Captain DeBach. You see how a congregation works, where you can reach out to this one and that one, right? If you by yourself, and the scriptures talk about two is better than one, because if one be overcome, then, you know, what else? It's almost like you tying a cord. A three string cord is stronger than a 2-1, right? So it's good to be among like-minded people. Y'all can plan, strategize, and put things into work. And yeah, we at this time right now. I pray this thing will just disappear, but I'm seeing that it's not, you know, I don't want to interject theory and whatnot, but I think that it might be, they might use it. You just never know. So the best thing to do is for us to be prepared.
All right, brothers and sisters. So I appreciate y'all staying here with me for the 3.5 hours almost that we did class today. Hopefully y'all were edified. Listen, for everybody that's still here, many of y'all are on the channel. You do not even know you're not subscribed, because this is a new channel that we created because YouTube has shadow banned Maccabees TV. So many of you are on the channel right now watching, and you're not subscribed, which is Lions of Israel Congregation. If you are there and you have not already subscribed, can y'all please take a moment? Y'all sat here with me for 3.5 hours teaching my heart out. Can y'all please do me a favor, do us a favor, and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. If you're not, if you're on another channel, come over to Lions of Israel Congregation and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you guys can be notified every time we go live. It's your brother Priest Daniel, along with Elder Zahab, representing Lions of Israel Maccabees TV. Most High Live will be here next week, and if y'all enjoyed the class, maybe next week I'll do the side for the women and talk about how a woman shows love, because sometimes some of you brothers think your woman is nagging you, right? She's not nagging you, she's loving you, you just don't know it. You don't recognize. I'll talk about it if y'all want me to talk about it next week. All right? Until then, make sure y'all subscribe, hit the like button, and let's take it back to the classic, man. The first time that there was a pandemic in the world shut down, we made a song about it. Shalom.
this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Let's go!
Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try. Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try.
The curses, the plagues, is it all a dream? The curfew, the troops, the world's on quarantine. The social, the 6 degrees of separation. The troubles of Jacob, the need for preparation. My vision is focused, I won't speed a rush. And if there's hate in your blood, then you need a flush. Yes, the priest is back, the Most High be praised. I'm making them sick, this song is 5G waves. As real as they come, won't find no fugazi. A man amongst men, so Gail and Oprah hate me. And Jesus had warrants. Paul wrote letters to Corinth. And Esau is red, and Donald Trump is orange. The faces, the gestures, that cat is so comedic. Corona, the virus, the plagues is sent on Egypt. We were slaves, led away to other gods. I ain't preaching shy, I'm killing them with current laws.
Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try. Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try.
The riches, the fame, is it all for Skrilla? The mask and the gloves so COVID doesn't kill you. The panic, the fear, the news is so fallacious. The Isley, the brothers, they say it's so contagious. The doctors, the nurses, the need for ventilators. The 1,200 cash they gave to stimulators. The signs and the warnings, don't forget the scriptures. Prevention and cure funded by special interests. Still in the streets, surely. Some say that he's worldly. Flow is sick like why Tekashi got released early. The judges, the lawyers, they say there's no defense. Season 8 Game of Thrones, cause it don't make no sense. And that's the rundown, TV is saturated. The fear is the push to get us vaccinated. We were slaves, led away to other gods. I ain't preaching shy, I'm killing them with current laws.
Father in the sky, I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try. Father in the sky, like I shed tears, I don't know why, but I'm a child of the Most High, so they can't break me if they try.